Hi, everybody, and welcome to a particularly disgusting episode of Manga Palate. Get excited. I'm one of the hosts, Pasticia Luna, here with my co-host.
Manga Isaiah.
Yeah. Oof. What did you pick? Say it. Go on.
This week I picked Interspecies Reviewers.
Ishuzoku Revewiers, baby. I've been talking about it in the end bits if you've been listening to those. So now we're going all the way. All
Yeah,
right. Fuck, I'm ready. Dude, I'm ready. You know I'm
I
big in on
think this is
this.
like my favorite thing.
From the
So
last like few years or so, or what?
yeah,
From the season?
like ever.
Really?
hmm
That's interesting. Because what I really like about it is how like out there it is. But one thing I would detract from is it has no narrative to speak of. So like compared to me sitting on the edge of my seat going like, oh fuck, I want to know what's gonna happen. You know, this is more
Yeah,
like
it's more
I
laid
love
back.
every part of this. Yeah. So that's the point I would raise.
That's what
So
I like about it. But
yeah,
yeah, we'll get into it.
we'll get into that.
Like,
First
could have
things
a
first.
narrative, but like nah.
First, Ishizuka Reviewers started like a few months ago before this horrible apocalypse, uh, on January 11th, 2020, and it just ended from when we're recording this on March 28th, 2020. That was like a week ago from when we were recording this.
Mm.
So yeah, no, it's great. There's three main people, and then they have a shit ton of friends, like But so it's a hero group, adventurer group made up of Stunk and Zell, who are a duo. Stunk is voiced by Junji Majima, who was the main guy on Korewa Zombie Desu Ka, which is Ayumu. Like I don't know if you remember that. I remember that because he did raps in English. He's also in this really gay thing called Dramatical Murder because it's gay porn. And he's in Token Rambu, which is Kankore, but for swords, and guys for women. Who
Oh,
is an elf is voiced by Yusuke Kobayashi. Yeah, Yusuke Kobayashi, who was on Show by Rock Sharp in the second season as Titan. He's the main guy on ReZero, Subaru something. I don't remember his last name. And he was on another show that was kind of gross. Nande Koko ni Sensei ga as the guy with the third teacher, Tanaka Ko. And Kribabel, shortened to Krim, is voiced by Miyu Tomita. I love her. She's great. She was on Oshiete Yaruko-chan as Otako. She was also on Bokuben as my favorite one of the group, Ogata Rizu. And right now, besides this, she's on Doro Hedoro with as a character named Ebisu. And Doro Hedoro is a really cool, fucking weird, subversive sci-fi post-apocalypse action thing. It's really cool manga. I dig it. Also on that show is Yu Kobayashi voicing the character that I'm really into, Noi. But that's a different thing. And yeah, they have a shit ton of friends and stuff, but really, they're in and out. They're not always there. There is one I wanted to throw out there just because I was like, whoa, Aloe, the tiny
halfling.
no. That the halfling's name is Kanchal. I was gonna say the receptionist for the fairy brothel, the one with the tattoos who smokes.
hmm
Yoko Hikasa.
Really?
Yeah. That's a fucking professional. I love the voice she did for Alo. I legitimately like Alo better than every other one of the fairies.
Yeah.
I like your tats and stuff. But yeah, that's a whole different thing. But yeah, I just want to throw that in there. It's like, hey, look, it's Yoko Hikasa. Also, the vampire count, right, that they hung out with that one episode,
hmm
Yoji Ueda,
Ah.
who did gay porn like a few years ago. And before that, he was Speedwagon in the first part of JoJo. He does a lot of stuff. So, and yeah, all right, you can get into it. It's not really anything to explain,
Nah, it's just
considering how much, yeah.
a bunch of Well, these two guys, Stunk and Zell,
Yeah, Stunk and Zell.
they usually just hang around town and go
They go
reviewing
they,
women. Yeah.
they go do jobs.
Oh, they're
Then
adventures. Yeah. It's
yeah,
like
they're
a
adventurous, so
fantasy
they go do
universe.
jobs. Yeah, it's a high fantasy universe, so like Lord of the Rings, Dungeons and Dragons, that kind of shit. So basically they go out, they do jobs, they come back with their money, they visit brothels. That's it.
And they found
Then
cream.
one day they run in, yeah, one day they find an angel kid who has
Mm-hmm.
a broken halo, and they're like, "All right, kid, you can come hang with us." And they go like, "Okay, cool. You can hang with us until you're good enough to go to heaven." Because when you want to go back to heaven, we're going with you because we want to try to fuck angels. And they're like, Crim's like, okay, whatever. And they take Crim to a brothel because they're like, what? You've never gotten your dick wet? And it's like, no, I'm an angel. It's like, we gotta fix that shit right now. And yeah, that's pretty. They start reviewing like the concept of reviewing a little bit later, but actually, what they just do is go out on adventures and have sex with prostitutes, and it's great.
So,
And
did you read the manga?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
And
it
I watched the
started with
show,
them like reviewing the two, like human and elf girl.
talking about it like on an individual level. They didn't start posting it up in the bar.
No, but they asked other
They were
friends to
talking to
like
each
talk about
other.
it too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They were talking about it. They weren't posting it in the bar like they do later.
Yeah, I'll say that's
That's
like their first thing, but it wasn't
no, that's
posted.
just them bullshitting. No, that's just them bullshitting. And that's when and after they take Crim to go get his cherry popped, they go, "Hey, what if we start writing these like up on a board?" And then they, then everybody starts reading it because they're like, "What's this about?" Wait, what? And then that's when it becomes the official reviewers thing that the show is all about. At first, they're just bullshitting in a bar.
I feel like they were always bullshitting, but yeah.
Yeah, they are always bullshitting, but there's a difference between like just bullshitting and then putting it up where people can see. Kind of the premise of this show.
Yeah,
Of this show, we would do this with or without a recording.
pretty much.
The distinction is we're recording it and putting it on the internet, but the situation has not changed.
So yeah, there's guys that are just reviewing their
They
brothels.
like hookers.
Yeah.
They love hookers, and they review brothels and their specialty brothels because it's a fantasy world. The idea is okay. So succubi and incubi are a thing, right? Because monsters exist and all that, right? Yeah. So if someone has succubus blood in them, they would have some of the traits, right? And it's like right. So then for them, it kind of works out that they would end up being prostitutes because it's a good way to make money. And in a world where magic exists, you don't have to be afraid about shit like diseases or getting pregnant or whatever.
Hmm.
And then yeah, and it's like, then they're just shooting the shit about different kinds of brothels that you can go to. It's like, oh, you ever go fuck a minotaur lady? It's like, oh, you ever go fuck whatever, and they're just talking. And that's the entire premise of the show. Really, is when they start deciding to do. How about let's put it up in the bar, and people are into it. They go, why don't we just keep doing this anyway? Because we still just go to brothels. It'll just be a side thing we do besides, going to brothels.
Yeah.
Yeah, then it ends up building up to where they can actually make money off of it. But honestly, it's more just about, hey, what kind of weird brothel are they gonna go to this way? What's this specialty one all about? Like, there's the one that Cream ends up really into, the one where you can be turned into a woman because of the hyena, Elsa.
Yeah, it's your favorite.
By the way, I'm hard into Elsa. I get what that's about.
Because
Hard in on Elsa.
she basically has a penis.
Dude, and I like her voice.
Yeah.
That's real strong. The pseudo dick that hyena females have is a bonus. It is the other two things that I really like. That's the same reason I like Aloe. Aloe's aesthetic is cool, yeah, but the way she talks and like her voice in general, where she's just like a really chill older lady, is like what I'm about.
Yeah, she hooks them up too.
Yeah,
She said
she's the one who sends them to the dreaming
she
place.
said the other fairy girls don't use their whole body like she does.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, you want to get into those parts now, because that's kind of the rest of it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. What you got?
I guess I like the jokes in between them. I think
Yeah,
that's
there's bits in
different.
between. There's bits in between
Yeah.
when they decide to not do the as close to porn as possible bits, and instead it's like the girl is licking a mayo bottle
Hmm. But
thing, and there's also the like I'm dead inside because I went into this horrifying sex pit. I can't get up. Someone help me.
Or
Oh, I
has to
feel like
lick
all my
bones.
insides have been drained. Yeah.
I didn't even do anything. I was just licking bone.
Oh yeah, that's good. That when he went to the undead place.
But the difference between like the anime and the manga is like the anime actually showed them doing stuff. The manga just sat
Even
there.
then, it depends because some of them, they like I said, they go with other things. Like not all of them are the third episode. Some of them are like the mayo bottle or the licking the mushroom thing. It's
Yeah,
just
they
like
showed that.
something, but it's not as ridiculous as like the ones where it's like, oh, watch the thrusting of the thrusting motion, and you're not seeing it penetrate, but oh boy, you're already seeing a lot.
Yeah, but they did show the egg thing.
Yeah.
So
Well, no, even then, not all the way. Close enough. But you didn't watch it like open up the hole. Not as much as you see like the outline of like the labia majora when they were doing the salamander fucking yakiniku place.
well, you saw it on the beef, the meat they cooked.
That's what I mean. Like that's I would say that's at least a bit more than like, oh, it's a wet noise. Which, by the
Okay.
way, we both watched the uncensored version, but
Mhm.
the censored version just doesn't show you anything and just gives you noises.
Mhm.
So like,
So I guess that's the worst one.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like you could kind of figure out what's going on if you hear the noises and understand what they're saying.
I'd rather if
Rather
it's
see
just
it.
like a
No,
still
totally. I
image.
get you.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just black. That's
See,
what I mean. Like it being black makes me think of like closing my eyes and hearing it.
no, I would
Yeah.
rather see something. I'm already hearing something, might as well. But it's not that there's nothing to talk about. It's just weird to talk about.
Hey, about the egg laying place, since we talked about that,
Uh huh.
I do love how everybody got super into the penguin, and Stunk was like, "I kind of get it.
Oh yeah,
I don't,
those
I don't know
guys
if I
are
really
like,
get it." But Krim and Zell were finally in. They were in at that point. They were like, "No, not this one. I understand. This one I'm about." And I think Krim goes like, "Yeah, but isn't it kind of interesting how like cute they are?" And Stunk's like, "Yeah, but it's not like I don't get a boner when I look at a stuffed animal. You know, it's not really. I kind of get it. I just don't really get it all the way." But
yeah,
that they're like talking about the little nuances that like, because that's kind of the point, isn't it? Like I think we talked about this on our random bullshit information episode, but it was like a review is not supposed to be like a person saying this thing good, this thing bad. A review is I like this, and then you can base your opinion on whether or not you agree with those things that they like.
yeah. This thing is very opinion based.
Yeah, because
Not
that's kind
really
of the
a
nature.
review.
That's kind of the nature of a review. A review is an opinion. A review is someone telling you what they thought about blank. People seem to assume that
But they made it
reviews are
like,
objective, but they're
yeah,
not. They're not objective. That's what it is. So like something Stunk is all about is something Zell hates. Like they go like in the first conversation, which is when like Stunk is sleeping with
with
like
the
an
old
elf hooker
lady.
who's like 350.
Hmm.
It's like 350 or something. But she doesn't look like an old lady. She looks like 20,
Hmm.
25, maybe late 20s at best.
But everyone else is
And
like, oh,
Zell's like,
she's
how?
old, dude.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Zell, Krim, and Kanchal. I think even the fucking wolf
Everybody,
guy.
everybody except for
Yeah,
the incubus.
yeah. And they're all like, man, she's old. And it's like, what do you mean? And then the ones who are magic are like, yeah, you don't feel how old and fucking aged her mana is. And he goes, that's not a thing I feel. Why would I give a shit about that? And the wolf guy goes like, yeah, she smells different. He goes, you have the scent, you have the nose of a wolf. I literally don't feel what you're feeling. So I'm good. And that's why later when they go to the other place and it's like, oh, you can pick a girl of whatever kind you want, right? The ones where they turn into women. And that's where Krim takes the hyena. Stunk again takes an elf, but this elf is even older. She's like 800 or something, or 600 or some shit.
They look like 20 or
Again,
30.
she doesn't look older, but they mention it. Like they mention it because she walks out. She's like, "Hey, which one is for you?" And then the other guys are like,
She's
"Ugh."
like 500 years old.
Yeah, yeah. It's like she had 300 years of experience, and so she's like 600 or something, or maybe eight. I don't remember. It's just a really big number. And the other guys are like, "Oh fuck!" And then she steps out. She goes like, "Oh, I didn't know you had like friends with other species," because she knows that they can feel
Mhm.
something that Stunk is not, so it makes her uncomfortable. It's just like, and he goes like, "Nah, I'm good though. Let's go." Zell wants to go out with the lady who's like 58 or something,
She
but because
looks like
she's human, it
60.
shows.
Yeah.
Because she's human, it shows.
So I was like,
And yeah, yeah, yeah. I kind of get where he's coming from. Her face is not great, but like, yeah.
I
But
was like, no,
again,
no way.
I'm like I said before, I'm fucking disgusting. So really, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and then like Stunk is like, why the fuck would you go out with such an actively old lady? And Zell is like, look, dude, I'm like 300. She's like 50. That's wild. That is like illegal where I'm from, and she feels as her mana feels as young as she is. And he goes, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, man.
And she's just smiling like, oh my doll.
Yeah, she loves him. Yeah, cause I guess he's a very he's a
Irregular.
regular, right?
Yeah. They
Yeah,
look
so he's like there.
they look like they're regulars rather.
I presume they go around, and when they went to the Dream Eater place, right? The whole thing was, will the Dream Eater makes your favorite one show up, and he
Mm-hmm.
gets Mitsue again, cause that's the one he always goes back to.
And Stunk got the bird lady.
Yeah, Stun got the bird,
He must
and
really
also the
like
witch.
Midori. There, Midori.
Medley.
Medley. Because he's
Yeah,
like always hitting on her.
I get it. The whole thing is that birds are like real birds, so they're like weirdly sensitive. It's like I get that. I
He's
get
always
that.
like the back of her neck.
When they do the review, and then it goes like, yeah, when you touch the back of the necks, they go wild, and everybody at the bar is reading it, and then they look over at Medley. She goes, "Don't you look at me, you sick fucks! Like, don't think about it. Don't you even bother." And they're just like, "All right, cool, yeah, no, just understood." It's like, yeah, no, I get that. I get that. The one I found myself like going. I feel like I would follow this man's reviews regularly if this was a thing I could do. It's the halfling
Oh yeah, he comes
thing, and
darker.
I love him. No, he was always that weird. The thing was, he didn't always have a situation where he could do it.
Yeah.
Like that, I get that. I totally. That's why when they go to the mushroom place, he's like, "Osh, I like kind of plain girls." It's like, yeah, no, that's a thing. There's an aesthetic difference, and then like the actual action difference, which are like two whole things. And matter of fact, there's a chapter of the manga that they didn't do because they cut it off at a certain point. But you could really cut it off anywhere. Because like every chapter is just, oh, we went to this new brothel. It doesn't really fucking matter
Mm-hmm.
where they cut there's a chapter after they cut it off that like, so you remember how Conchal said, hey, this
I
place where
read
you
the
can make,
manga. I probably understand.
oh yeah, so you remember the one about the how he made the hero, right?
Yeah, the demigod.
Yeah, the demigod hero lady,
Mm-hmm.
Uli, right?
I forgot her
Yeah,
name.
so like he goes, I think it's Uli. It's like
It's not
he
important.
because there's a place where you can go and you make a model,
The
basically.
golems.
You
Yeah.
make a fuck toy. It's
Yeah.
essentially like the real dolls. You know the real dolls, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. But it's like even better because it's magic, right? So it can like move and like react and
And
all
they
that
have
kind
like
of shit.
the flesh.
And you give it a personality core, which is like, oh, this is the way it's gonna act and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then he makes one of like a really famous hero that people like admire, and much like real things, obviously want to fuck her. So then he makes like a bunch because he loves that store because he's a thief. Because halfling thief, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And as a thief, he has really good hands, so he's really good at making the models.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when they went there in the show, they did the first time they showed up.
They
So
did the
they
version.
all had a version of Medley. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. It's like, what did you guys make? No, tell me, what did you guys make?
Yeah. And then she bumps into Krim, and Krim just goes, "I'm sorry," and just leaves. And she gets like, "Wait a second, you fucks." She like, what is it? Stomps the shit out of Stunk, crushes Zell's head while carrying him in the air, and just punts Kanchal into the sky. He's tiny. It wouldn't be hard.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
So things that didn't happen in the anime. They also had the
Uh,
weird snail thing.
I mean,
I mean the aquarium thing where they went to like
oh, yeah. I mean, look, man, there's a lot. The body switching thing, right? Where it was like you put your brain inside of a thing inside of a tank.
mm-hmm.
Got snails. The other one got snails are an interesting idea because snails are hermaphrodites, so they got both sets of genitals, so they could just fuck whatever.
Mm.
So I do wonder what the hell that even means as a physical experience. Like I kind of get the whole turn into a woman for like 2 hours thing. Like that, yeah, all right, that's a limited amount of time. But like, what's the body switching thing? Like it doesn't. You don't have genitals you're familiar with anymore. I don't even know what that means really. Crimp.
I don't even know. I guess you just rub like
And the
your
other one
arm
was
or
a
something.
yeah. I don't know. That bit I do remember that bit in the terms of jokes. And they were pretty funny when they were like given the card by the demon guy, demon number 2.
Oh, he was running for the election.
Please go to this. Please go to the bar. Please write a review. God damn it. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Demons. They seem interesting. He's like, they're not. Everybody hates us. Please, God, just do it. And then he leaves, and they're walking to there as they watch like minotaurs walk by, and then they just immediately turn right into the minotaur bar and go, yeah, fuck that other shit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, like, we
later,
don't really know if this guy's legit or not.
yeah, and after they go because they didn't go with Krim that time. They went with their other friend who's a demon, I guess, based on the horns and the jacket and whatever.
I think it's only in one
But
episode.
when they go, yeah, a lot of them are like in the background, so like you'll see them in the bar, but they're not always going around. But anyway, yeah, no, they leave, And Karen goes like, "Weren't you guys going to go to a demon bar? Why'd you guys go to the Minotaur bar?" And he goes, and Zell grabs an apple and goes, "It's a law of science, right? If this apple were bigger than the planet would be attracted to the apple, not the other way around, right? So is the nature of man," which is him just trying to go, "I saw big titties, yay!" But what a solid way to try to cover that. Gravity work. You get attracted to big things. That's science, baby. Science. I'm really glad I got to see the Witch City animated in the show because the Witch City was the one I was really interested in the most,
The
like
arc
conceptually.
mage or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The Witch City thing I was interested in the most because it's basically like you're married for 3 days,
Hmm.
isn't it? And you're married to a person who could do pretty much anything you want, which is why everybody always gives it a 10 because they're
Yeah.
like it's insane. It's everything you could really want
And she makes good
condensed
food.
into a period of time. Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It's anything you could possibly want is probably a thing she could do.
Yeah. And
And
she just
that's
does
and I
it.
was like, huh. Yeah, she just does it. Like Zell wanted a weird tutor, like fetish things. She's able to teach him magic shit and also fuck him. Like it's all like I remember the bit where she's walking in the town with Conchal and he goes like, "So what is it that we can't do?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, like about the town. Basically I have an agreement with the mayor that you can do pretty much anything as long as it doesn't disturb the public." And he goes like, "Okay, so outdoor stuff is no good, right?" She goes like, "Yeah, but if you like take me to a room and you want to just saw me in half or something, like it's okay." And he goes, "That's I'm not gonna go that far. That's insane." Jesus. Whatever you're into is whatever I'm here to do. He goes, all right. Understood. Understood.
I like the way it like tries to have a narrative. Well, it doesn't really try, but
It doesn't. It
it's
doesn't.
there. Like they have this whole thing with
It's
the angels.
paper. The manga tries more than the show because the show literally just picks and chooses the events. The manga is now at this point sort of doing a thing, maybe
No,
with the other
it's
angel
ended.
that showed up, huh?
That was the last chapter. The manga's finished.
The other one, the when the other angel showed up and was like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah.
Was it?
No, they went. You saw the demi hero. That was the last chapter.
That's the last one,
When
really?
she came in. Yep.
Really?
Yep. That's the way it ended.
Oh,
I really
so it
like that
had
ending.
really nothing to do with anything then.
Well, they didn't want to. Like I said, they
Uh,
could have done it. Like they have a lot of.
no. I mean, like, I figured the angel going, "Hey, what's up?" It's like, no, hey, wait, I just looked it up. It hasn't finished yet.
There's
That's just the most
35.
recent one. There's 4 volumes. It's still being published. Yeah, it's still being published. Just isn't out.
I thought they said they were gonna end it there.
Not that I'm seeing. It's been serialized, released. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I'm looking it up. The company cancels. No, that's the TV show. It gives up on that as well. Yeah. It doesn't say anything about it ending.
Thank God you said it ended. Oh,
Really?
yeah.
Where?
Uh,
Where did you read it? I want to know actually.
on Gakko a lot.
Read it. Hold on. I'm gonna look that
Yeah,
up.
it's the status completed.
That's yeah. No, I'm looking up anything about it having actually ended.
But if this is the ending, I'm pretty fine with it because I don't want this to have a narrative whatsoever. Even though it could
It's
be like that.
it seems like it's trying because the angel thing,
No, I think it wants you to be like, hey, we could be this, but we're not.
Let's see.
Because even the Dark Mage was like, wow, I don't need to even do research on this angel anymore because the reviews do it for me.
Yeah,
Just
no, that's
just
fine.
that in.
Separate thing. That's I don't need to follow him anymore. I just have to wait. It's not. That's not a different thing. Anything. Year started complete. No, it's ongoing. Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah, it's ongoing. It's not finished.
I
It's
don't know
just
why
gonna
it
keep
says
going.
completed. Oh, well.
Completed there either because I just looked it up and I was like, it's okay. How many chapters are out? Anything? No. It's ongoing. It's gonna keep going. Really, you could do whatever the fuck you want. You could add random things and it would be fine. Because just because you did like a species doesn't mean then you can do a specific version of that, like the one where they turn into kids. Like you could just get more and more specific. There's no reason to end it if you still have other ideas of just random shit. Yeah, no, it's still ongoing. I thought that was really weird because I would have heard something about, oh hey, it's gonna finish in a few chapters or it's being released from its publishing or whatever. No, it's not. Yeah, it's
Oh, it's gonna keep
ongoing.
going.
It's gonna
Oh.
yeah, it's just gonna go because what else? What do you have to be worried about, right?
Well, I don't
Making
know.
up
I thought
shit.
he wanted to end it that way.
No, I mean that doesn't even begin to talk about anything else. Like you could just keep going. There's no reason to stop.
I mean, there's no reason to stop, and maybe I thought that was like the way he wanted it to be. Like it was like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
look, all these people like narrative.
I
I
feel
just
like that's you
wanna
assuming a lot.
do
I
this.
feel that's you assuming a lot.
I
You're
read
assuming that there's
I,
like some kind of
I read it say completed,
like
so yeah, so I assumed it.
you assume there's like a lot of high-minded stuff that's going into it. I don't think it is. I think it's a lot much more simple than that. Occam's razor.
Then why would they have all the stuff about the angels? I mean, like,
There's only one chapter about the angels. How many harem manga have you read where the narrative passes by in one chapter every 50 chapters?
I mean, the angels come up saying, "Oh, they did a really good job in society because they helped make all the magic circles." Blah blah blah. So they're still like prevalent. And you
I
also see
mean,
them doing the miracles. So that means maybe they were doing other miracles too.
are they?
Yeah, they were.
I
In
don't know.
the
It's,
harem place.
what? What are you talking about?
You didn't see the marriage thing where they
Marriage
made
thing?
that guy made he went to marry the salamander, the fire beast type. He
Oh.
was a human. And the end was like, okay,
Oh,
I'll make
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That's not enough for me to say, oh, that's been dealt with. That's just going, hey, things are happening in other places.
And also the goddess or whatever, the girl's sleeping.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing that's unresolved.
And also
That's what
the
I mean.
crown. I mean the halo on Green's head.
That's the thing that's unresolved. You could do something with that, or you could do that maybe 40 chapters from now. It doesn't necessarily have to happen now.
I know, but that's what I was
That's
thinking.
unresolved.
They
But
made
that's
it
what I
complete.
mean. But like, no, that's not complete because he's not back or because she's asleep. That's not a good thing.
I know.
That's what
but,
the other
okay.
kid was bitching about.
That's what I was
If
assuming.
anything, that's open ended.
I know. That's what I was assuming. Oh, you're gonna end it without talking about any of this. And then
No,
I thought
that's
you were
what I
doing this.
mean. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I feel like that was a huge assumption just based on the word completed that you didn't even check anywhere else.
I thought they were gonna end it on like 34, like rule 34.
Again, I think you just assumed a lot from seeing a word instead of looking up anything else.
Oh, okay.
That you assume that based on one word on a website instead of looking up anything. But, yeah, no, you can fucking do anything. It really doesn't matter. I expect it to be like other things that are plot thin, which is like hijinks, maybe one thing, hijinks, maybe one thing, and like that until they decide to finish.
Hmm.
So really, I don't know when it could or even would end. You could just decide to jump it real fast. I think that the fucking the hero thing was just a thing to remind people that hey, there's like real big adventurers. Because there's that chapter where they go to the adventurer brothel, which is like, oh hey, if you go kill a big monster, you come back, you fuck one of the people who like work at the brothel, right? It's like you have to go kill a monster, the bird lady, the steak lady,
Yeah, you have to do
the
extra
satyr
work.
and it's based but it's like and it's just the thing. So what I was
And then
gonna
they
say
were
is like
Korean
but that's what I say.
thing.
What they mention about Stunk and Zell is like they're really high level. They're just fucking lazy and refuse to do anything besides spend their time at brothels.
Yeah.
Stunk is strong enough to be a hero class. He just doesn't do anything about it because he's like, yeah, but hookers though. The point of bringing up maybe the other heroes are going like, see, no, that's a thing that's happening out there. It's
And
irrelevant
also
to
his
us,
dad, like,
but it's a thing that's happening out there.
also in the anime, they said his dad owned like a town or whatever.
Yeah, he bitches about his dad in the manga too. He goes like, yeah, my dad threw me out because I was messing with one of his girls, and then it just pieced out. It's fuck that guy, and then that's all he says. Because I think he does say something like, I was messing with one of my dad's women, and he got mad at me, and I left. So I think that's what the harem thing is supposed to be in relation to. It just came a way later in the show. And, yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, no, you can
There's a
fucking
lot
go.
of, yeah, I know there's a lot of stuff to do, but I was
You
assuming
can make
he was
up
gonna end it.
anything. You could really just make up anything.
Yeah.
Like they just did the dwarves, right? They did the dwarves and then the hero thing. Like you could just fucking pick another thing or go back to one of the older ones with specific variation. Like what if it's the Minotaur ladies, but it's like baby weird age play. Like that's a thing you could do. It would just be another bar that's more specific. The same way that there was the role playing one, which was like, oh yeah, rape play. Like that's a thing. Rape play's a thing. I kind of
I
wish they
guess-
did the Animal Road.
Oh,
I would
the
love to have
Beast
seen
Road.
the Animal Road. That would have been dope as
No,
fuck. I
they
would have.
weren't gonna do that.
I would have loved to have seen that one. I don't know, man.
I understand why
Like,
they didn't do that.
it's fucking good. It's fucking wild. I love it. They did the penguin. They did the penguin squishing out her eggs.
And that's
It's
when
not
they
too
stopped,
far
didn't
off.
they? When
No,
stopped, like,
they did the
6 or
fucking
7.
rape play. They did the rape play. The rape play is way worse than watching someone lay an egg.
I mean, when did it get
The
canceled?
rape play is way worse. Oh no, they canceled it on the third episode from the hyena dick,
Ah.
and even then, other channels kept going down because like you know what, it's already getting to be too much.
Is it worse? Oh, I don't know. I think it's okay.
Rape play is way worse. Rape play is way worse.
And the girl
worse than
wasn't
just-
even acting.
That's because she's a bad actor. But the concept of rape play is way more taboo than like, because the other thing is like a fucking trick. It's like a ping ball trick. It's a thing people really do with like ping pong balls. But, like it's really not
I
that
guess-
big of
yeah,
a
it's
deal.
not that-
Nah, not compared to I need you to tell me you hate me and that I'm hurting you while I beat you. Like that's way worse. That's way more hardcore.
still don't want to see a penguin lay an egg though.
Oh, but you're down with the rape play bar? Is that what you mean? Is that what you're
Yeah.
implying? You're down. Oh, all right. All right. Wow. Learned something new about you today
I
and on
mean,
this show that's going out there
it's
for people to
fine.
hear. Nah, it's cool. It's cool. It's it's fine. I love that. I want that on a t-shirt. Rape play. It's fine. I want and just your name on it. Wow. Wow.
I mean, as long as it's agreed upon, it's fine.
I'm just saying it is
But the
sketchier
concept is, yeah,
than the other one.
bad.
I'm not talking about how what your moral stance is. I'm talking about it sounds weirder at face value than the other one. When you compare it to, oh, she was gonna do this anyway, she's just gonna let a guy watch, as opposed to, okay, I need you to pretend I'm hurting you. This is bad. This is bad. I'm not even saying you're a degenerate, you don't deserve to. I'm just saying we're gonna look at this from face value. One of them is a lot more weird sounding than the other one.
I still think the eggs are weirder, but yeah, okay.
I'm just saying the other one's a lot harder to come by for a reason. It's not hard to find the stupid ping pong trick. Not. Also, the Will o' the Wisp orgy room is like a thing I've done it at a few parties. So like it's that's not really that weird to me. I also recognize that's not a thing people do. You know what makes me laugh about that? Now that we're talking about the subjectivity of this kind of shit. We both still like Castle Super Beast and the Best Friends and all that kind of shit, right? We're both still
Absolutely,
there.
yeah. I
About the
saw
fact
Pat
that
played 8
Pat
hours
is
of.
apparently so vanilla.
Yeah.
That Pat's so big, so vanilla because the idea of BDSM was disgusting. That's fucking amazing to me. This person who will talk about like ruining other people's lives for cheating goes like consensual fetishes between people. That's sickening. It's
I don't
wild.
even know how you think that. Okay.
Because you know he said the halfling is the most disgusting one. He's like he's a fucking horrible monster and I hate him. And I'm like he likes weird kink. Cool. Whatevs. If anything, I can respect him now much more than I know what he's about.
Yeah.
The eggs, and I'm like, all right, man, I feel you. I don't get a boner from the eggs, but I feel you. I get that. Yeah, they got all those people who are like, she's so old. Can you feel her mana? I'm like, no, don't know what you're talking about because magic's not a thing humans can do apparently. So, meh.
I still like the ending of the anime though.
They just went to the dream place
Yeah.
and they fucked around. Yeah. Well,
Totally.
it's a nice break. I figured that would be a good place for the show to do it because you know, like I said, you could literally pick anything and it'd be fine. But that's sort of like saying, "Ah, man, remember the good times we've had."
Yeah.
How did you feel about the undead place?
Oh, with the bone licking.
Well, no, it's not just that. There was the
I know, I
Kyunshi,
know.
the
There's
vampire,
the
and, you know.
receptionist, the Chinese zombies,
Yeah.
and the bones.
Kyunshi is a Chinese vampire.
Oh, Chinese
They
vampire.
drink life. They drink life force instead of blood.
I don't know why no one picked the vampire, but
Well,
I
the
guess
thing
it
about
was
the
great.
vampire is that they don't remember. The count even says they don't get down with anybody besides the person
Oh
who
yeah.
turns them.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So like, unless you're a vampire, that's got to be a bitch and a half to figure out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm kind of intrigued by the idea of the zombie because he was like, normally this person I would give a 9 or an 8, but they smell weird, and I'm like, I kind of want to know what that is. What do you mean? I don't know what the smell is. It like fully rotted body? How does that work? Because if it's a fully rotted body, why isn't it falling apart? That doesn't make sense.
And she just stuck her brain in.
I want to know. I want to know what the smell is.
Can you do it without her brain
This is
in?
yeah. Can you detach body parts? Is that a thing? How does that work? I don't know. I feel like there's a lot there that did not get explored.
Yeah.
I was like, there's something about that. There's
But he was
something
just
about
like,
that.
she smells.
And I was like, all right, but what's that smell though? I want to know. This is the mystery that I'm into. Also, the Cyclops girls. There was the thing about like, oh, I want the big eye, not the little eye.
Oh yeah.
When Krim had to lick that one's eye, what is that about? What's that about?
I think there's two that in there.
I want to know. No, I want to know what that's about. Is it like
I
is the
can't
eye
think of anything.
I feel like maybe the eye is an erogenous zone? Is
I
that
guess.
maybe a thing?
Actually, yeah. That
Because
makes
like
sense.
you know, humans have a lot of different ones, right? And different things have different ones. So like
They did say they take
maybe
pride in their eyes.
they take pride in their eyes. It sounds like a metaphor for tits, the way they talk about the cup sizes for the eyes, right?
Hmm.
Because he goes like, oh, it's about the size of her contact lenses or whatever. Yeah. So like, I wonder, like, do you generally touch it? Do you not touch it? It does sound like they're talking about it like it's boobs, right? Like it's an erogenous zone. And that's why that one is like, lick it, please lick it. And the other ones are like, oh, my eye's small. Nobody's gonna want to fuck me because that's a thing for them, but that's not a thing that makes sense for other people necessarily. Hellcats is the one that I liked. I was like, I like you. You seem fun.
About their
But yeah,
reviews. She would never have
I
been
don't
this
know what
all
that's about.
confident.
Oh, the one that Stunk gets. She's like, we went at it 3 times, and since then, I felt so confident in myself. Oh, did you see that bit? Because I know you usually don't watch the ending themes. Did you see that bit that was the poll about who the most popular girl is?
Oh yeah, I saw it.
And so she came in fifth. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's pretty good at a top 10. That's a pretty good one. And then Hyena got sixth, and she was like, "This is bullshit." And that's what Mitsu says. Like, yeah, there's lots of guys who love you for your looks and your attitude, but not so much about the dick, you know. And I remember going, to me, that's a bonus. That's a freebie. That's
And
like
she's like,
also,
that's fair.
and I'm like, interesting. That's part of why I wanted to see the Animal Road thing. I wanted to see how weird it was gonna get. Like because remember in the manga they showed the side panel to the reviews that are like three different kinds of people,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like one of them is like basically just an animal,
Mm-hmm.
like an upright animal.
That was funny.
So like, did
I
someone pick
recommend you
that?
guys to go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, when they just went to the actual animals.
Yeah.
No, I was talking about the one that looks like a Sanrio character.
Oh, the cute one, but it had like
Yeah,
a hoodie.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Like I feel like I wonder if one of them picked one. I don't know. Cuz
I think
Crim's
Cream did.
review. Yeah, cuz Crim's review sounds like he did. And I if so, what? How did that
Did
work?
he get aggressive all of a sudden?
Was it yeah, yeah. Like isn't that what he
He's
said
like,
about
it's
the other
too
one where it was
cute.
like that's what he said about the mushroom, right?
Mm.
I was like, oh, normally I'm not the aggressive one, but she's so sensitive that I felt like I needed to take the lead. And I'm like, is that how you felt about the animal?
Was that animal?
I want to know.
Was that animal of age? That's my only question.
I presume. I don't think, because it's kind of like legally accepted, isn't it?
Yeah, they have a lot of legal
The prostitution.
stuff.
So, like, I imagine they have like laws involving prostitution. They're like, oh, if you're going to do this, you have to reach this age or whatever. And if anything, if you have like a thing for little girls, you go get a halfling girl because they're basically lollies.
Yeah,
That seems to be the thing, right?
yeah.
That's what Stunk said when they went to the fucking the gender swap bar
And they
where
showed the female.
Con yeah, yeah,
Halfling.
Conchal gets the halfling and he goes like, "Well, you picked a halfling?" I thought he's like, "Yeah, I just wanted somebody who kind of like felt familiar if I'm gonna do this for the first time." And Stunk's like, "Yeah, I could never do halflings because like they feel like children and that weirds me the fuck out." I was like, "That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I'll never.
That's a solid reasoning." I think there's very few things I'm not up for in real life and in this kind of situation. Why not?
If the situation presents itself, why not?
Yeah, and if the situation's available, like, yeah, all right. I think the only one that I'm maybe not big on is the horrible low rank succubus pit because that looks scary. That doesn't look fun.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
One where they have him in a tank.
Yeah, they were like the first 30
Yeah,
minutes
yeah, and
are
I'm like,
good.
that doesn't
The
look
rest is
fun.
just painful.
Yeah, they pulled me out beyond what I could withstand, and I felt that if those other sacrifices hadn't have come in, I would have died.
It was like a group of pigs,
Orcs,
orcs there, and they
orcs
also
are
run
pigmen.
the town or wherever.
Yeah, because they vote on everybody, and the orcs are like, low food cost, taxes low, and you could fuck. What else do you want? And it's like, yeah, I love the poster for the succubus party, which was 1, fuck, 2, fuck, 3, 4. There's nothing. 5, fuck. Join the succubus party today.
I thought
And
it was
Zell
like
and
sex, and find the government that's interested in sex.
it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. We got nothing. 5, fuck again. Like like it was the list of their priorities. Like you know how politicians make their
Yeah,
stances.
yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm about lower wages. I'm about, whatever. Yeah, theirs was 1, fuck, 2, fuck, 3, 4. Got nothing. 5, fuck. Join the succubus party today.
And the demon party has the legit ones. Like we're gonna find new technology and magic.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, we want to do advancements for society. And everyone's like, yeah, but like, what about hookers? Let's focus on the real issues. Can I eat when you turn this place into a technological future world? And go up? I don't know. And that's why the orc is like, stability's what matters. Stop worrying about fancy shit. Stability. Stay safe.
Food
I
costs
was
go
like,
down.
I understand. I mean, come on. Low food costs, low taxes, lots of hookers. That sounds great. Sounds like a solid stance. It's understandable. And I also we keep going. I keep going back to the fucking gender swap bar, but it's because they mentioned a lot of things about the world at that point. Krim finds the book with the big rip dude.
Oh, they're called rainbows.
That's what
Yeah.
I was talking about. It was in boys, as in incubus boys, and boys, which is endurance, as in they can last a long time, and then rainbow boys, which is they do both men and women, and then you can get a rainbow endurance boy, which is rain and boy, which is rainbow men and women, and also endurance. And I was like, huh, system. So there is a possibility for these things to be expanded upon
It
that I
seemed
would
like the
like to see.
mangaka thought about it a lot.
Yeah, and that's what I like about it is that I like that there's like a whole economy and stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like yeah, a lot of it is a lot of it is fancied by food and hookers, but that's just because that's the thing people want. Basic living thing urges: reproduce, eat, sleep. These are these are things all living things want.
Yeah. It doesn't
That's
seem
cool.
like the girls are that into it though.
But the prostitutes,
No, like just the regular girls.
uh, I mean, I don't know.
Right?
It
It
seems
didn't
to be
show
that
it.
they don't really talk about them at all. All they have is Maidley, and Maidley works at a bar. So really, I
Yeah.
fucking weirdos. She
Yeah.
works at an adventure bar. So the only people who go in there are people who go out, nearly die, and come back and spend their money on hookers. It's not like she has a reason to like any of them besides their business.
She did make more money. They did make more money for the bar, so that's good.
Yeah, because people kept coming in.
Um,
Man,
remember the wizard?
I
The actual
the
lizard
wizard.
wizard?
This
Because
the
he stayed.
Dragon Man, the
Yeah.
Dragon Man wizard.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Stay a virgin till you're 30, become a wizard is a Japanese slang thing. It's a joke. And then he goes like, "Now I'm holding out." And they're like, "Why are you still a virgin?" Virgin. He's like, "Hold out." It's like you're gonna be a wizard if you wait like this. That's what I'm waiting for. And then at the end, he finally becomes a wizard. He gets longer hair, his grown ass wings.
Like he actually
And they're like,
changes.
"You did it! You did it! You became a wizard!" He's like, "I did it! Now fuck it! I became a wizard. You can't take that back. I already win." It's good. I kind of wish I got to see more of the in boys because they got that one incubus guy who shows up just to fuck the ones that they review poorly because he's like, "You don't understand the charms of these women." And they're like, "Well, no, that's not the point, is it?"
And then that one
And he's
girl
like,
comes and stabs him.
"No, yeah, well, the thing is, the in boy, that guy reminded me of a host.
What do you mean?
Well, flashy, handsome, takes money from women."
Oh, like a party
Spends all
host?
his time goofing. No, like a host is a thing.
Oh, I
Shit.
didn't know it was a thing. Okay.
All right. Do you know what a hostess is?
Yeah, someone that
Okay,
hosts
it's a
a
male
party.
version of a hostess. But no. Okay, this is okay. Well, this is a super Japanese thing. Here we go. So there's a thing called host bars or hostess bars, depending on which one you're
Yeah,
going
like
to, right?
the cabaret thing, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, but they're actually.
No, they're a real thing.
Yeah, I know the cabaret things are real, but
Yeah, they're called hostesses.
I thought they were just do that because they like host the party. Oh, okay.
No, 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 no. It's a business.
Oh, okay.
No, it's a business. It's a business. You're an actor.
Okay, I get it.
And then the more you pretend, or the better you pretend, the more money you bring in. Host clubs and hostess clubs, they'll have like a wall. They have like a ranking system of who made the most money, what month. They'll be like, "Oh, this month Yoshimura
Yeah,
brought
yeah,
in
I know what that is.
700,000." You know?
Okay, so the actual.
Yeah, yeah, a host.
Okay, I thought you just meant like general host. You meant like
No,
cabaret host. Okay,
yeah, this is to me.
they're
When
just things.
I would say the action is host a party, or who is the host of this party. If I just say the word host, that's what I think.
Ah,
'Cause that's it's a profession, it's a thing. So yeah, he reminds me of a host.
I guess they
Dresses
generally
re-
like everybody.
No, he's like, yeah, they have to come up with a reason to because their job is to convince that person that they're in love with them.
Oh, okay.
You know, the job
They
is to
get
pretend to be your
stabbed
boyfriend.
sometimes?
Fucking stealing money from that other woman, which is the thing that hosts also tend to do. Is that they'll pretend to be nice to you. They'll pretend so much so that they'll go like, "Yeah, I love you." You know. By the way, I'm kind of low on money for rent this month. Like that. That's what they do. That's
But I
why
thought that
a
was
lot
just
of people.
business. It's not technically.
No,
stealing.
no, 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 no. There's a business that is buy stuff at the bar, and then there's outside of the
Yeah,
business.
they hang out too, so they keep coming. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's not a part of the job. That's
Oh,
them
okay.
fucking stealing people's money.
I always thought it was heavily implied that they do that. But
No,
Okay.
no, it's not. It's not by any means. It's like Enjo Kosai. Or like Enjo Kosai is like the girl is paid money by a guy to go on a date with her.
hmm
Prostitution, but it can go there depending on the girl and depending on the money.
okay, you're not supposed to. Okay,
Not supposed to, but they do it. So
I always
yeah.
thought like everyone does it, so it was okay. I
No,
guess
no, no,
not.
no, no, no,
Okay.
no, 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 no. It's one of those. It's like going to a massage parlor. You supposed to get jerked off? No, but it's understood that that's a possibility.
Yeah, okay,
it's
I'm
the
learning
same
more
thing.
about legal stuff. All right.
Yeah, could never because that at that point it would be some form of prostitution which is illegal literally everywhere. like nearly everywhere. There's very few places that are okay with prostitution because a lot of places have adopted a code of ethics that is pretty ridiculously antiquated. I've been a proponent for the legalization of sex work because then you can have like government regulation, and that's really important
Hmm.
because without it, like a lot of people are at risk for a lot of things. The workers are, at risk of getting diseases or getting attacked. Like a lot of sex workers are the ones who end up victims of violent crime because the guys who attack them go like, "Who's gonna care if a hooker dies?" So like it's fucked up. But this is a thing that happens, and they're abused sometimes by the people. Sometimes they're forced into sex work, which is sexual slavery, and it's a rough time. But if you and there's the health concerns. What if somebody gives you AIDS knowingly? There's a lot of risks you run. But if you have like a legalized form of it, then the government can be, part of it and then like look at who's doing what and have rules and regulations that people will have to follow. Maybe they won't because you can't make everybody follow the rules, right? But it'll at least make the
It'd be
situation a
better.
lot more safe
Yeah.
for both the workers and the people who are going to participate in it because sex work is going to happen whether you like it or not. To do go about it is to at least make sure it's safe for everybody involved, and that's why I've always been a big like, yeah, no, we should legalize prostitution because it's gonna happen anyway, and I would rather have those people be safe than fucking have to risk their lives going out. Like, you remember how like Backpage and fucking Craigslist used to have prostitution ads in it?
Hmm.
That it was prostitution, but like they never said anything about it. They would phrase it like, "Oh, if you want to call me, you better be generous." Is like the way they would say shit like that.
Hmm.
Shut those pages down, people had to go back to work out on the streets. At least if you did it online, there was an extra layer of protection where you could like talk to the person, learn more things about them, maybe get a feel for their personality about whether or not you want get an address so you can send to other people and go like, hey, I'm going to go here. There's layer of protection. There was at least some kind of protection, but now that those got closed down because prostitution bad, those people weren't going to stop their job, but now they're at risk again for even more grave things like getting attacked in the street. And I know that's a whole tangent, but like because this thing is like about prostitution and like being sort of accepted by society, and people are just kind of like, yeah, it's a thing. I think it comes out better for it.
So it's a better society than what we live in. Is that what you're saying?
Saying a sex positive attitude would contribute to a better society.
Ah.
Case in point, this. Case in point, Amsterdam. Feel that a lot of places adhere to a very antiquated, dogmatic view of what sex and sexuality is, and it leads to a lot of discrimination and violence. And that's part of why I like the world of Ishuzoku Reviewers so much, because it's like, yeah, it's just the thing, man. If you want to go, go. If you got the money and the time, go. And if you don't, then don't worry about it. Just don't. Just try to make money till you can go, or whatever you want to do.
Hmm.
I think that's really cool. And that's why under the other part of it is like showing, oh yeah, the guys who are into this can go here. The guys who are into this can go here. If you like, there was one of them. Remember when they were again the fucking gender exchange part, because it has so many interesting details. When they're talking about like, oh yeah, there's also a place. He was like, wait, so if we can turn into girls, is there a place where girls can turn into guys? It's like, yeah, it's attached over there. That's where the in boys usually work. He was like, okay, wait. So what if a guy turns into a girl, a guy turns into a girl, and a girl turns into a guy, and they have sex? It's like, yeah, that's the thing that happens. Okay, what about no? A guy has sex with a guy who turns into a guy. Isn't that a girl who turns into a guy? Isn't that the same thing as gay sex? They're like, no, because they're a woman inside. But then also they have to do the no homo of. Would you guys? No, they're not that comfortable with themselves.
But they did show each other
But
everything.
they were like, yeah, dude, that was wild. I don't know if I like even if I had friends I went to like a fucking strip club with. I don't know if I'd ever do that. That's wild. That's oof. And then they pulled Crim's legs apart. Also,
Yeah,
I
that was
noticed that
messed up.
in some of the subtitles, I noticed that in some, yeah, that's sexual harassment. It's bordering on assault if they had put anything like physical. But hey, and rape. Also, I was gonna say,
Some of the
there was
subtitles.
this. I noticed that some of the subtitles they erased the words, but because I know Japanese, so I heard what they were saying anyway. Did the version that you saw have all the words in it, or did it also get rid of some of them?
What do you mean? I probably got rid of it because I don't know what you mean.
Okay, yeah, because there was when I was watching it on a website, they had it like they opened Crim's legs, right, and then they say, "Oh yeah, this is really nice." Whoa, it's so pink and fresh and new. And then Conchal comes up and goes like, "Yeah, it looks so slippery and wet." And like those subtitles were not there. It was like redacted.
Oh yeah, I didn't see
It's like
that.
asterisks. Yeah, exactly. So like that's what I'm saying. Like that's what he was saying. It's like, oh, it looks really slippery and wet. Looks nice. Like Shut the fuck up, dude. That's really weird to say about your friend. That's a really creepy thing to say about your friend.
Yeah, I guess
And they said
they're
that's
saying they would.
I don't know, whatever.
I
But
mean, there are no other angels.
I just not
Uh,
I thought it was interesting that the subtitles also decided to exclude that.
no,
They're
it's
like,
too weird.
even this is too weird. Like, I'll put in the words for how do you feel good inside, but I'm not gonna put in this shit. I don't know.
It's
Good
weird when
luck
people
ever.
have the weird stance.
It's because like I don't get what the line is my problem. My problem is always where is your line and can you explain to me what the line is? As long as it makes enough sense, then whatever. But if it's like, hey, I'm gonna this bit where the hyena fucks Krim, and Krim goes like, I wanted to learn to me what it felt to be a woman inside. And the hyena's like, I'm gonna open you up to this wild jungle. Feel me inside of you. That can be subtitled, but the word slippery and wet cannot be subtitled.
I don't know, man.
If they give you an image with that one, versus you could see the hyena thrusting in the other one.
I guess the words were too much.
The words at that point the person was like, all right, now I'm subbing porn and I'm not doing this.
No, I can't.
If I
Can't do.
wanted to translate in eroge, I would have done that. I'm not doing it.
I have a high stance. Oh
That's
man,
too much.
this show has a lot
Um,
of stuff going on.
now I gotta say, I'm kind of jealous of that the incubus dude can change his dick size at will.
I
That's
mean,
wild. That's such a cool power. Like if you have to have a thing, right, and it's not gonna be something crazy like, oh, I'm super strong, I'm super fast. That's a pretty cool ass power.
eh.
There's no way I was gonna get into the fairy bar,
But then, yeah, I guess
not
you.
based on the measurement size. So then you could, and it wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care about it.
Also, clothes. I have lots of clothes that are
It
like,
would help if
I would wear that, but the
it's too
crotch is
tight.
too small. Can't do that. It's gonna hurt real bad. But if you can like make it small, and then you could just like wear it and like, yeah, nope, no problem. Full for like clothes and these places where they're like size is a thing. It's like, oh,
Well, it's only that one place.
I don't know, man. There's a whole world out there. You never know where it's gonna come up.
Yeah, it might be in the next chapter.
Yeah, it might be one of
And
the
the
next
halfling
chapters. Who
though
knows?
is like, oh,
Yeah, yeah. I love that. Yeah, because I remember we talked about it. I was like, look at how sad he is that his dick is not big enough not too big for anyone. What was it? Stunk. You get these two big ones, and he's like, oh, that sucks. Elf, you get from like these, and he was like, that's a pretty good spread. I'm good with that. Halfling, anybody. He's like, really? He's like, yeah, anybody. There's no one I'm too big for. Nope. I'll admit, I'm not sure if I'm happy or sad. I don't. And then Krim, what about you? No one. No one can handle that dick. And he goes, but you're gonna take my money though. I'm like, yeah, bye.
I hate this place.
This place sucks. Zero.
It felt like a waste of time and money. Oh, it actually was.
I literally sat down, watched my other friends go off and have fun with prostitutes, and I sat here doing nothing because my dick is too big. This was a waste of time, and they still took the money. Fuck him. Ah, man, that was good. Okay, going back to the egg thing. I'm not into the penguin, but the owl seemed kind of cute.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna
The
hit on the
receptionist
owl.
lady.
Hmm.
No, you remember remember the spin-off manga from a bunch of different mangaka doing?
Kinda.
I told you about it that they're doing like a different manga, which is like an anthology where a bunch of different mangaka are gonna write stories in the world.
Hmm.
Talked about it in the show. Yeah, one of them is about the owl, and I was like, okay, this I can get into.
It's basically fanfic
Sort of.
with professional writers.
It's professionals, so you know. What else? I'm glad they got to get the demon chapter into it because if they were since they decided to cut off at the Dream Eater, they got to do the demon one, which is when they go like demons love contracts, like contracts, like yeah. So like people go demons are really shitty, but it's because we follow contracts to the letter, and any wiggle room is wiggle room. It's the old genie trick. It's the pact with the devil, where it's like, you said you wanted my hands, but you to make beautiful music, but you never said I couldn't make you deaf, like that kind of bullshit. Is so the thing a lot of people fuck up with is when they get married to a demon, they go, I want to make you happy,
Mm.
and it's like, oh, you want to make me happy? Cool, do everything for me. I was like, but if you said I want us to be happy, then you got the perfect wife. And it's like, oh, what? And she goes, but just to be clear, us refers to you and your demon wife, not children. So if she has kids, she will be a great wife, terrible mother, god awful mother. And I'm like, this new assessment, this probably doesn't seem all that bad. And I was like, yeah, seems okay. Make small contracts for a period of time, and then if you're interested in an actual demon, you make it. All right, yeah, that's cool. 7, 7, 6, like averaging scores. And then people read it in the bar and they go like, "Oh, is that what demons are about? You know what? I'm not against it. This is cool. This is a cool idea." And that's when news gets back to the fucking demon lord. And they're like, "I'm glad they finally did it. Unfortunately, it's been months and I lost the election." Hey, that's good. That's good PR for demons, and that means maybe next time we'll do better. They're like, "Yeah, next time." And Demon 2 cries, like just sad because he hates his job. Kind of
Oh,
sad that they say
also the
Yuki Onna
big,
have shitty. Oh, go on.
the big demon also didn't know what the things are, the brothels.
Oh yeah.
She's like, they do
Also,
what? They
yeah. The
just
idea of
naked
a
it.
condom blew her fucking mind.
And
No, the idea of a
oh, that's
condom blew her
awful.
fucking mind.
Why would anyone ever do that? Like she
Yeah,
just didn't know. That's
yeah, yeah. No, that was pretty neat. I remember when they gave the ranking of the species that nobody likes.
it
It
was
was like,
first
which
like
ones are the least
zombie.
likely to? Number one is zombie. Well, undead, they said in general. So I think that includes zombies, the Jiangshi, vampires, and skeletons.
There was a
Two was
ghost there too, right?
demons. Huh?
There was a ghost. Was there a ghost?
Um,
I remember that.
the ghost shows up, but the ghost never does anything because you can't touch him.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I guess that counts.
So like anything
But you
that's not.
could.
Yeah. Can you? I
They
don't
probably
know.
have some weird
I
magic
think
stuff.
I think you could do voyeurism. I think that's how that works. I think you can't touch her, but you can touch yourself. So then, oh, we got something going. But that's a different thing. I was gonna say the one that made me kind of sad was Yukiona. Yukiona was like 5
Oh,
or
it's totally
4.
yeah, because she will freeze you to death. What?
No, that's not it. That's not why.
What was it then?
You don't remember what they said, do you?
I thought.
Touch and they have shitty personalities, which is a double pun on being cold.
Ah,
Yeah, it's they're cold to the touch and they're shitty people. I was like, oh, that sucks. They're shitty people. Is that just for the cold joke? Oh, that's a bummer.
I mean, I'm pretty sure her story was like she just tricks you and then eats you. So
Oh,
I guess they're basing off that.
not really. What are you talking about? The old one or the one that evolved from that? Because the old one is, yeah, they'll see you in the cold and kill you, and then the other one, the one that happened of like, the one that it evolved into, because this is the one that everyone knows now, is the one about the Snow Lady wife, which is guy gets saved in the cold. And then, like he's in a blizzard, and he almost dies. And then the Snow Lady saves him, and then she ends up marrying him. And he goes like, "Cool." She goes, "By the way, what is it? He wants to sneak on her in the bath." And he's like, "Oh, I want to see what it's about." And she's like, He ends up like spooking her into going into a hot bath, and she melts and dies. And that's the end of that story.
Oh, I didn't hear that one actually.
That's the one that evolved from the old one. The old one nobody really knows anymore. It's not the one that people tell.
Oh,
The other one is the one that people tell, which is like, oh, they're sad. They're sad people. That's the new basic description of Yukiona. Sad, lonely people in the cold.
oh.
That's their whole thing. And I
Okay,
was
so
like,
I guess
ah,
they
it sucks.
never.
It sucks that they're villains. That they're villains in this thing. That they have to be shitty people because cold. So cold personality. Haha. It's like, that sucks. I guess you wouldn't want to meet one, huh? But then I wonder if it's like the demons, where it's just a misunderstanding.
Maybe that's what
And
there'll be more.
I would love to see whether if he does a couple of chapter on yokai, because that seems to be a thing, right? The fact that they mention Yukiona and fire ghosts is like, oh, so there's like ghosts besides that. It's like, what is there a place where you can meet a Rokurokubi?
What's that?
How does that work? Oh, Rokurokubi is a Japanese monster. It's basically a person who can elongate their neck,
Oh, okay.
kinda. It's basically a person, but the neck stretches. And like it can come off and fly. There's the other one, Nukekubi, and yeah, like it's just a monster from Japanese folklore. We'll fight them sometimes. Sometimes they eat people. Sometimes they don't. It's kind of a thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, I wonder if that's a thing you
There
could
could
do.
be a lot of stuff in
Or
this.
or a Jorogumo. A Jorogumo must be interesting. I feel there was one in the background of in one of the bonus chapters when they were talking about religion,
Hmm.
right? So in English they have something like it's called the Drider, which is like top half woman, bottom half spider.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
And
this
she
is
went to get
Jorogumo
she went to find a boyfriend.
boyfriend. Yeah. And then so the
So yeah,
Jorogumo.
Arachno, basically.
Yeah, that's a Drider. Yeah, that's a Jorogumo.
Okay.
It basically means prostitute spider. I think the word. Yeah.
That's a weird name.
Yeah. Like they're incredibly beautiful women that draw you in with their looks, and because they're spiders, man, they're
Okay.
males when they fuck.
This is like
But there's other ones where it's go on.
this is just like you only see the top half until you get
Oh,
drawn
that's what I
in.
mean. The Jorogumo is like it looks like a woman, and then she transforms into a woman spider.
Okay.
Like, it's not you
I keep
never see a
forgetting how weird
yokai.
it is.
You never see a yokai in their full monster form. That doesn't make sense because then how would they get you? You
Okay,
know?
I know. I'm just thinking
The
like,
idea is,
oh, the monster always
yeah, the idea is you
transform.
see them. Yeah.
Because I know
Then
they're
like her
like trying to
bottom half
send
becomes a
messages
spider.
with that. I'm just trying to think of the message like,
I think the
don't
implication
get
there is
help in the snow.
no. I think the implication there is don't go out during a fucking blizzard, dumbass,
Okay.
or you'll get taken away and no one will see you again. Like that's the Yukiona story, right? They take you away and that's it.
Well, he said the new one is she just melts, and that was kind of
Yeah,
sad.
but like that one is more of a sad tragic story.
So if you
Like
go in the blizzard now, you'll be sad. I
I
mean,
mein
okay, that's fair.
yeah.
I
The
don't get the
Jorogumo
spider
thing, I
one.
think it's supposed to be. I think I get that one. It's basically be careful of the person you sleep with. You don't know if they're fucking crazy and will kill you.
So it's like a Black Widow.
That's yeah. It's a spider thing. 'Cause that's what
Okay.
spiders do. Spider do what spider do. You know. Think about actual spiders, right? Male females are 10 times the size of a male, and then when they breed, they eat the male. Like yeah. So basically, woman version of that. Be afraid. That's like understood. Understood. So yeah, I kind of
Okay.
wonder if like maybe he'll use yokai because if Yukiona are there, then it doesn't it could go anywhere.
Literally anything.
Yeah.
They
And
have
that's
like
what
the
I'm.
spectrum of
Yeah.
furries.
Man, remember that cat lady with 6 tits because cats have 6 nipples?
Yeah, and then she showed it. And he's like, oh, you
Uh,
can react like the others.
no, no, that was the rabbit. No, I mean the actual mostly
Oh,
like humanoid cat
yeah,
lady with
yeah.
6 tits.
That was covered. I think the Beast.
Yeah,
The Beast went with him.
men. They're beast men is what they're called.
Beast man. Well, he's a
Yeah. So
hybrid,
then it's just
but
like,
whatever.
how animal do you want to go? And then that one was like 70 or something. I don't remember. It was like you keep going until you're like, nah, too animal, and go back. And as I am all in for the hyena, I can go pretty far. I think I
I
can't
don't
hit the
like the
Sanrio
hyena.
characters.
Her teeth look scary.
I, again, I'm not against that. Doesn't bother me. As
I know you
as I
said you're
said
all in,
before, I
so I'm
feel
like,
like a
okay.
lot of things. I feel like a lot of things don't bother me.
I'm sure you considered
I
all
got
the
I got a lot
possibilities
of
when you said
yeah.
hyena.
That's
I'm just
that
like,
doesn't
I'm not
sound like a
with it.
bad thing. Bad thing, I guess is what I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure I'll just do like the human one. Like,
Yeah, the one that just looks like a girl with cat ears.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like, even
I
furries,
get
like,
that. Yeah, yeah,
too
yeah.
much hair.
It starts to get to a place where you're like, I don't know. That's what I like about it is that it's like you keep walking until you know you've hit that line, and then you go back.
And
Then
their
there's
back was
and
the
then it,
goat. Like,
yeah,
actual
and then they
animals.
extend. They went to the end because they're like, I need to know, I need to know, and then it's just a goat, and it's like, no, 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 no. Yeah, wish I could have seen the Animal Road. That would have been neat. I think that would have been cool. See all that shit.
They always have, like, a lot of stuff. I feel like there's, like, time constraints or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very sure
Well,
if he wanted to, he
every
would go all the way.
every half episode is a chapter. The half the episode is a chapter, and then each chapter is like 20 pages, maybe max.
Each chapter's, like, 20
It's
pages. What? Oh, wait. Oh,
yeah,
yeah, pages. Oh,
chapters like 20
yeah,
pages.
you're right. I don't even count the pages.
Yeah,
Okay.
based on every one that I read. Like this one's 18, this one's 19,
I
this
get a
one's
feeling
18,
it's,
this
like,
one's 20.
30 or, like, 60. Because I'm like, oh, I'm scrolling down for a while. But yeah.
Oh, right, because you use one of those ones that uploads all at once, where it's like one long screen.
Yeah.
I click through mine, but
That's a lot of
yeah, it's
addresses. Okay.
wait, what?
Like, if it was on, like, if you have to look up something later, it would be hard to find. Because you just have a bunch of, like, oh, this is the thing I was watching.
Oh, that's interesting because I don't ever go to look back for a specific page. That's not a thing I've ever done. I'll go back to I'll remember what the chapter was about, and then I'll look for that chapter. Like the first 2 pages. I'm like, oh, I know what I'm in. I know what this is. I know what this is. I know what this is. I know what this is.
Oh, if you want to, like, say something. Okay.
Yeah, like it's not. Yeah, it's not an issue I've ever had. But
I,
much like most things,
I
I feel
usually
like I
like
have a lot
to,
of.
I usually like to
Like I
say,
don't have issues that a lot of people have.
you're you. Alright.
But what?
I mean, I said you're you. Like, everyone's
Yeah,
got their
that's what I mean. I
spectrum.
feel like I'm so much more like, it's cool. The line is a lot further down for me than it is for other people, as I've learned in my life. Ah, man. Like when they were talking about the Will o' the Wisp place, and they were like, I don't know about like having other dudes see me fuck, and I'm like, clearly you've never been to orgies, or you're not comfortable at orgies. That's cool. Don't go there.
Yeah, I
Stay
wouldn't
out
go
of those
there.
places.
No.
Versus I'm like, I've been to a bunch of those. I don't
But
care.
there is light.
No, no, it. Okay, you want to hear about one of the places I went to? I will describe it.
No, I meant, like, in the will. In the place.
No, that's what I mean.
Oh,
You
okay.
want to hear one of the places I went to? I will describe it. There's a place, right? They do secret meetings. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, we'll give you the address once a month. Like that other place we've both been to.
Hmm.
But the difference is what they did was they had rooms, right? that had different levels of light. So it
Uh,
was like the first room, pretty much you could see everything. Next room, a little bit darker. Next room, a little bit darker, and so on and so on and so on. Till you got to the room that was pitch black. And the idea was you would stay in the room that had the light level that made you comfortable enough, because the brighter it is, the more control you have over what's happening. You know, the brighter is, you're like, okay, I'm doing this, they're doing this, I'm gonna stay away from there and do that, whatever. And
mhm.
then, basically, the room that you go into that is a different level of darkness, you're basically saying, yeah, you could do stuff to me. It's fine. So when you went into the pitch black room, you're like, my body is here. Do whatever you want. That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't think I'll
Room
be cool
is
with that.
like the Will of the Wisp room is like, oh, it's basically the first room where it's like, oh, I have control over what I'm doing, and that has nothing to do with anybody else. Versus, I went to the second to last room because I was like, I'm okay with this. I got a lot of wiggle room. Hey, there's a shadow of a dick. You keep that this certain distance away from me. Go in my hand, but nowhere else. You
Wouldn't the
got me?
dark room just be like that then?
No, the total pitch black room is anything.
Like,
Like you're
I
just
guess you would just feel okay. Anyway,
you just feel things. Yeah. That's the thing about the pitch black room is you're saying no matter who it is, I'm down. No matter who or what it is, I'm down.
so your line was just
I want to at least be able to say, "Hey, hey," and that's it. Um
what if someone turns off the lights?
that's not a thing.
Oh,
That's what the rules of the rooms are.
okay.
Is when you like you go to a room that you're comfortable with because you're like, this amount of light promises these amount of things. I have this much control over the situation. I'm fine. Like that's cool. I'm with it. All bets are off. Go nuts. Okay, I'm not that crazy, but I mean, it's for people.
Okay, so
So the
you
Will of
had
the
the
Wisp
one.
room to me is like, yeah, Will of the Wisp room to me is like, no, that's whatever. I just don't focus on them. It's not hard to focus on the one person I'm in front of because I've already been to places like that. I remember one time I went to I went to a place where like they were like, oh, this is the room for couples, and I was like, oh, guess I'm not gonna go there. And then a couple invited me in. They're like, just say you're with us, and I was like, okay, neat, neat. But what they were doing was like, no, everybody watch this person we just invited in now, and I was like, oh, all right, I guess that's what we're up to today. Fine, not bad, not bad. Cool, 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 cool. And then I just did that. So that's what I mean by like I feel like I'm in a unique situation where I'm like, nah,
It's
nah, I'm
fine.
good. I'm good. Like my line is way further from that. Cuz I've already done stuff here in a world where magic and bullshit exists. Why not go those other directions? They're there now. Let's find out if I'm into it or not. You find out through trial and error. That's why I'm like the rape playroom. Nah, too much. I feel like that's the one that starts to get creepy for people who just hear things.
Um, alright, never mind.
As opposed to, oh hey, watch the what was it, like switch into the body of another animal, right?
Yeah, the soul.
But the idea is you're also that animal, and then that you're with others of that animal. It's kind of like a person fucking a person, you know? Animal road thing can go too far. Or you're just like, that is just the goat.
Hmm.
I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Nah, I'm good. I'm out. Like, yeah,
She said I
that's
recommend the goat. I'm like, everyone's just like, no, no.
yeah. Yeah, you just see like the cow and the goat and shit. She's like, you're a beginner. Start here. It's like, no, 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 I'm good. The fucking alcohol leprechaun place.
Oh, they just used some.
Well, no, it's because they're drunk.
Yeah, so
They're
they
like drunk,
touched.
and then the bank, the lady at the counter is the one keeping track. And because you're drunk, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I feel like that's the
Like
most
you could
sketchiest
you could
one.
get screwed out really hard. Yeah,
Yeah.
you get screwed out. You get screwed real fucking hard at that place. And you just get drunk, and you're like, oh, I blew $3 million. How did that happen? I'm going to work for the rest of my life now. Like it doesn't it doesn't seem great. Like it's great if you have a shit ton of money, you don't have to be afraid of cost. But yeah, yeah, it's wild.
Eh, it's also
Um,
drunk, so no. It's probably not as one.
you don't remember as much of it, which sucks.
So
That's the
it's
thing I would
basically like
say.
the dream, I guess.
Ah, the dream is kind of different though, because the dream is you feel it, but you just wake up and realize it wasn't real anyway. So
Yeah.
like it's the same thing as visiting the brothel, but at the end of it, you have to be cool with the fact that it didn't happen.
Hmm.
Cool with it, but the other guys were like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. Like, yeah, it's could be worse things, it's whatevs. Yeah, yeah.
Um.
Man, I really like the tiny the receptionist at the fucking
Oh yeah,
the
why do
fairy
you like
place.
her? Oh, you said because she looks
I like her.
her tattoos and stuff.
I like her look. I like her look. like tats, kind of grungy. She got the bags under her eyes, long messy hair, smokes, just kind of hanging out. And I'm like, that's tight. I like that. And she has a great voice, as it turns out, by Yoko Hikaza. I'm like, yeah, you cool. That's part of why I like the hyena lady too. Besides like her look and her overall attitude, her voice is part of it. Because to me, that combines to make the whole the whole entity. I like sound. That's a thing. Anything else?
Um,
Anything else?
I think we went over most.
Uh, so the cat girls from the beginning, is that too much, or is
No.
that like just enough? Because
Oh,
the
oh my.
wonder, because like is that because they do have like kind of paws. It's not like they
It's
just have
okay.
hands.
I don't think
Oh,
I'll
the
be.
paws are okay,
Yeah, it's okay.
but there's fur on the paws, don't you think?
Yeah, I'll just ignore the pause.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think you can because people put their hands on you as part of the thing. It's kind of how that
Yeah,
works.
I'll just be like, oh wait, there's pause. It wouldn't be like, oh god, get
Uh, You
away from
you
me,
think
pause. I'll just be like,
you
okay,
you
she has pause.
you think you can get over the paws?
Yeah,
Is what you're saying?
yeah.
All right, all right. Good to know. Good to know. I kind of wonder how fur feels. It's like, does it feel like regular animal fur, or does it feel more like like human hair? Right? Because they have hair,
Mm.
but then they also have fur, right?
Oh, you remember the
And like
doors, the bearded ones?
beards. Oh, now we're talking about the manga. But yeah, the dwarves with the
Oh, I
beards.
thought we were talking about the thing in general.
Yeah, I guess so. But the thing is, the cat ladies from the beginning also had like fur.
Yeah.
So like I think you mean like at the beginning of the Animal Road, but not like the first one that Krim goes to, because they also had fur. Just had beards. That's weird. I don't know if I could get in on that, because like
I think I would try.
so much of a person's face is like
Yeah.
part of that when you think of a beard, like, and that's that's a big deal. It's a big deal. Remember they were fucking talking about the porn DVDs in the
Oh,
show?
because
They
they're
had
making the
the
golem thing.
yeah, and in the show they had the lady, the hyena and the halfling shoot the porn DVD, the
Hmm.
lesbian porn DVD. But then in the manga they're like, "Hey, watch as we make one of the dolls." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm a master craftsman," and it shows the drill, and then like it literally just shows all the guys in the crowd going like, "Oh, oh, I didn't think I would be so into this."
And then it became censored. It was,
Yeah, yeah. And then they were like, "No, no, wow, holy shit." I'm like, "This is the sale over?" And then they go like, "Oh yeah, I forgot we were selling. I thought we were just watching porn now." Uh, right. Who wants to buy this porn? I mean, porn will exist no matter what, right? So like, the idea that it comes out of magic crystals is fun.
yeah. I wonder if they're gonna mention it, but I guess they did. So, like, I wasn't
On
even
the
thinking
show?
about it. Yeah.
Uh, well, they never did in the show, but they sure did in the manga. I
It's
don't
weird to
mind the
see what
girl
they're
that's
putting
not.
in the anime and the manga.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's how I feel when I read manga and then watch the show. So I was like, oh, so this is in, but this isn't. This is in, but this isn't. Oh, you chose to push this earlier. You know, it's that adaptation distillation thing where they like to take certain parts out, add more things in. You know, it depends.
Because I'm pretty
Okay,
sure the
so
beast
we were
thing.
talking about the door. Yeah, go on.
I'm pretty sure the
Go
beast
on.
thing would have been fun instead of
Beast.
the demons.
Oh, you mean the Animal Road?
Yeah, the animal road. Yeah.
Let's see the Beastman Road thing. Like, okay, about the beard, right?
Mhm.
Notice how some of them have smaller beards than the other beards, right? I feel like I might be able to do a small beard, like the one that Stunk chose with like sort of the pigtail thing.
Yeah, like that.
But like the other ones have like bigger, bushier beards. Is it a thing for them?
They said it's
I
a pride
forget.
thing.
I can't remember. It's a
Like,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah, it
it's
is
a
a
pride
pride
thing.
thing.
Dude.
It's like look at how sick my beard is. And it's like, yeah, I'm not about this. Not about this one. Man, I guess you should also you would they also mentioned also the hair is a different thing, right? Hair is another thing.
What do you mean?
Well, they in that chapter they were like, also just so you know, um, there's this is a shop where you can find girls with really long hair, and
Oh
like the
yeah, they
popular
just
ones are the
covered.
mohawks.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, okay, so hair is a separate thing from
But
the
is that
beard
really a
thing.
monster anymore? Or like a different
I
species?
feel like some species have longer hair by default, don't they?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I think elves would have crazy long hair.
It
So
just seems like a
like
human
the
thing.
thing you're looking at the thing you're looking at about the elf is not the fact that she's an elf, but also it's her long hair. That's I mean like I don't know. I just feel like there's layers to that because like think about the cats, right? Like there's the cat lady and there's the hyena lady, and they're both more or less like animal person, right? With fur and paws. But there's a big distinction between hyena and cat, isn't there? Right?
Yeah.
And like dog would probably be a separate layer from that. That's what I mean by like I feel there's a lot of nuance and wiggle room
Well,
that you
that's
could
what Wild
pull out
World is,
of.
right?
That's a yeah. Like there's things you
It's the
could
whole
pull from that.
spectrum. Yeah.
Yeah. If we're just talking about animals to begin with, like how much cat, how big the percent of cat. Because I feel like I could go with 10% rabbit. I feel like once they start to get the rabbit face, I'm out. But the hyena face and the cat face, that's not a problem for me. I don't know. Canine faces don't bother me.
If you saw like rabbit
Canine,
face, you'd be like, I'm good.
yeah, because you ever seen their lips? Like they curl in all weird. Like I hate
Yeah,
that.
and their nose would be
Yeah, I
different.
don't like that would bother me. That would really bother me.
I think it
I
wouldn't
don't
really.
know. I feel like
I'll get past it. I think.
well, you said you didn't want to deal with fur to begin with, so by that point they already have fur.
Oh yeah, but if they just had like the
Like so,
face,
like
but, like
yeah.
in the paws,
Well, that's my
I'll be
thing
okay.
about Mitsue, where like fucking Zell loves Mitsue, and I'm like, if Mitsue didn't have her really saggy face, I wouldn't be opposed.
Me too.
For me, yeah, the old lady.
Oh yeah.
If she didn't have like a really saggy face, I wouldn't be opposed. Okay, I have a lot of wiggle room. I have no specific type, as it is, but there's like certain limits where I'm like, okay, no, this is uncomfortable. So like a big full bushy beard, nah. Ponytail beard, maybe I could do something with that. I don't know. I, I'll try. I'll try. I'll see if it weirds me out too much. If it
Yeah.
makes
So
me think of a Chinese Kempo master's ponytail, you know, like I don't know.
if it's just
And
if it's just long,
the
right?
high,
Like,
yeah,
but you have
yeah.
like a smaller body type, I think it would be better.
You mean the beard?
Yeah.
Smaller body. I'm not sure because then that means it makes up more of it.
Mm.
It?
Yeah, I think it's interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Well,
nuance here.
like who's that girl with long hair from this movie? Is that Rapunzel? I don't know.
Yeah. You mean from like the fucking Hans Christian Andersen story? Yeah, Rapunzel.
Would that be like in the one with the hair one?
Yeah, that'd probably be there. I would say maybe even further if she could like manipulate it magically, like the witch with the slime, right? It's like oh,
Mm.
I'm gonna jerk you up with the slime instead of using my hands.
The lotion or the
Like
slime?
if you could ocean slime goo thing, it's not anything in specific.
Because there was
It
actual
it
like octopus and there's a slime one.
no, that's different. That octopus seems wild. Like getting squeezed like that. That's interesting. I guess that's the same thing as a snake, isn't it? Except with the suction cups. It's like
So it's
Conchal was
not
like
this.
suction cups hurt.
I guess the snake
But in
could be
terms
more
of
constricted.
the pressure I think would be the same because the tentacles would still constrict. The difference is the way you feel it because snakes have smooth skin versus the octopus's tentacles. So you would feel the suction cups. But the squeeze, the pressure would probably be the same. I
Wouldn't
don't
it
know.
be the individual
That's
suction cups?
no, that's not how the tentacles work. They wrap
uh,
around and then the suction cups keep them in place.
uh,
Strong. That's why they can open things with them. The suction cups just give them grip. So, you know, it's kind of hard to have friction underwater.
yeah.
The suction cups are just, you know, make up for that. Snakes don't need that because you know, they live above ground, so not a problem. But yeah, I don't know. I wonder how that works. What that feeling is as opposed to the other thing.
Is
But
that
yeah,
like the
no,
whole
this I
manga?
feel
Like,
like
how does that work? And then they write it.
maybe I kind of want to. If they were gonna do magically long hair, I feel like that could be another a thing you could do for that if you're just into hair, right?
Would
It's
it
like
just
a
wrap
hair job,
around?
but like done by magic.
Yeah.
No, I mean like a hair job, but like done by magic
Okay, yeah. That's what you just said. Yep.
instead of your hand.
It probably wouldn't be that good.
uh, so the weirdo you are, aren't you? If you're like that guy from Fetchipuru, that might be everything you wanted. Jerked off by hair? Oh my god. You know? I don't know. There's people who are like feet, ew, whereas I'm like feet. All right. So I don't know. It depends.
What monster would be that?
That's a good question. Would there be a monster that has specific
I
feet
think this is
things?
literally how they made the manga, by the way.
Maybe. I don't know. In the end, the rankings for the dwarf were like what 8-6 8-6 or like 8-5 8-6 or something. Like Stunk and Conchal were like, all right, that's fine. And Zell and Krim were like, I don't know, kind of bit much. Not into it.
Saul said he didn't like the body type.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, he
It's
didn't
like
mind the
they're
hair.
mostly husky.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess if they're dwarves, they're stocky people, right? So they're kind of wide. That makes sense.
Oh, you remember when they were talking about
That
like
makes sense.
the outfits after the thing with the halfling with the torture
Okay.
chamber or whatever?
Oh yeah, they were talking about the costumes. And the
It's like
girls were going
princess
like, "What if we
outfits
could
would
do
be
princesses?"
too
Yeah,
expensive.
yeah, that's what the lady who runs the place was like. Do you know how much that costs? Even just renting them, and then we have to get them fixed because we're gonna fuck them up because that's part of the rate play. I'm like, no, that's too much. Also, and then the other one was like, yeah, by the way, why would fucking 6 princesses be trapped together in one room at the same time? That doesn't even make sense. I was like, that's the part that bothers you? The logistics of princesses being captured together?
I guess she's really into the story.
Yeah. She's serious about her acting, as opposed to
Oh
the Minotaur
no!
girl who couldn't act for
Please
shit. Yeah,
don't.
yeah, yeah. I love that the halfling was like, my dick is literally getting soft. Put some effort into this. I'm paying money, damn it. I was like, I get you. I get you.
And Kuma's
The
just
person,
like, oh, I
yeah.
actually feel bad.
Yeah, because he's taking it. The girl he got was a pretty decent actor, so he's like, no, this feels real. I don't like it.
That was fun. Alright.
I really do love the making your own doll thing. Feel like if you're good at
Eh,
doing stuff with your hands, there must be so much you could do.
yeah, but if you're gonna base it off like a real person, it wouldn't be that good, I guess.
What do you
Actually, the
mean?
personality
You mean
core makes up
creepy, or
for it.
you mean what? No, because the personality core makes them like a person.
Okay, never mind. If it was
Uh,
just like without the personality core, I'd be like,
oh, well,
nah.
that's what River Stunk was like. I hope they're not. I hope they're at least like better than like. I hope they're at least as good as androids. And it shows like a robot going, "Hello, master. Insert penis." And it's like, yeah, like that would suck. Like that sucks totally. That's what sucks about the Kyonshi. That's what Zell said. He was like, because they can't move their bodies. It's like fucking a dead fish. It's not great. It's not great. And I'm like, yeah, that must be terrible. Core makes them like a whole thing. That's like at the end, Concha was like, I think this is my favorite place. I think this is the place I want to come back to. And when he does the dream thing, he gets the maidly that he made from from the fucking place because he's like, that's the one. That's my favorite one. Is the personality core he chose.
Was
I vibe with that. I vibe with that real hard.
what was it?
It was slutty masochist.
Ah,
That's why Pat's like, I hate him the most. I'm like, I understand this man so much. Me and this halfling vibe on a similar frequency.
are they like the best friends? I think they kind of are,
What? What?
in a way. Like go
Oh, you
around just
mean
doing
you
what
mean
you
the
do in the normal day.
yeah, and then tell other people about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of what they do. Also, actively experience new things just to tell people about it. That's a thing they do sometimes too. I remember Pat said that on the podcast once. He was like, "No, Sunday is the day I watch things so that I can come up with something to say on the podcast." And it's like, oh,
Because he
oh,
would just
look
be
at you
playing video
struggling for
games.
content. Look at you struggling for content,
And
Patrick
did you see
Boivin.
him play for 8 hours straight?
No, no, what
Uh,
happened?
RE3 came out.
Was he passed out at the end of it?
No, he was. I didn't finish the whole thing, but
All
I just saw
right,
the hours. I gave it a like,
that's 8. That's nuts.
and he started right away
With
too.
someone.
It wasn't even like they were talking or doing the
The super
shilling.
chats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he just like
Super.
oh get into it.
Who was he alone or was he with
Yeah, he's
Paige?
alone. I figured Paige comes
Ah,
in the
okay.
middle since it was like 8 hours, but I don't know.
It probably you can't sit there that long, be with someone else, and not have them at some point walk by you.
In the comments, you're like, because the cat was with him, but then it was like a
Ah,
scary jump
Elmo.
scene, and then it's like, oh, the cat got spooked.
That I've been since the podcast has been getting longer and longer, thanks to Quarantine Super Beast.
Hmm.
Um, I've literally heard clips of Elmo screaming in the background during the podcast. And Pat's like, I want to apologize for Elmo. He cannot be on stream right now. It's just screaming. And Willie goes, do you need to do? No, it's just what he does. It's just what he does. Like, all right. Yeah, man, I really love Ishuzoku Revewiers, and I, hope to keep reading the manga. Kind of
I'm,
cool with the show
I'm kind
ending
of
there.
sad now that I wasn't ended on that. Like, I thought they were being like really
Again, I feel
victory
you were
about it.
expecting something really high-minded. Yeah,
Yeah, I was expecting
you
something like high
expected
minded.
something very high-minded from a guy who writes basically pseudo porn every day.
Like, I thought it'd be like the V3 ending.
Yeah, it'd be the big flex. I understand what you meant because I was like, oh, that seems. But you know what? I don't believe it because I haven't seen anyone say anything about it yet. Because if they said just decided to go like, all right, we're done. That's it. Now I'm good. Like I would have said, oh yeah, fucking big flex. All right, this man knows what he wants. Fuck you. I'm done. But I didn't hear any news or anything. And I'm the one who keeps up with this kind of shit. So I'm like, no fucking way. No fucking way. Ah man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. Good time. You picked to talk about some fucking filth. I'm also gonna then filth will trail over into my hype because I have a thing to talk about. But first, food
All right,
niche, niche one.
a lot of
Now it goes places where I think some people are cowards and they back down. I think it's niche, niche
is
first
it a
and
meat?
foremost.
I think there's a lot of stuff here. I think it could be a meat.
It's a lot of stuff for us to talk about in terms of talking about the actual thing we're looking at. I don't know because the thing doesn't have a narrative. It's more us talking about the world.
Okay. So, well, I think the
Right?
structure is at least interesting. The way it's organized.
Yeah, I would say the world building is super fucking cool. That's why we spent like 20 minutes going like, all right, but like, how does species of animal work? Like, like that kind of shit. Like, there's something there. I want to know if the Yuki Onna thing is maybe just if there's more yokai, if there's more, other shit like that. So I feel like there is stuff to talk about, but not directly related to the thing. Like, not to any kind of narrative. Its
Yeah,
world is
yeah.
built really well.
I do
I
feel like
don't
there's
know.
something there, cause like
I feel like there's stuff there. I
you
just
still don't
feel
know
it's not intrinsic.
how the halo goes back on or whatever,
Yeah.
or how it broke.
The fact, well, you know how it broke because you read the manga.
They assumed how it broke. She said she
That's
just
how Krim
sneezed.
makes.
She said I guess she just
Yeah, Krim
sneezed.
said sneezed, flew. No, Krim says she sneezed on me. I flew, and when I landed, I was on Earth. That's how it broke, and that's when the other angel's like,
But
"God, I want to get that bitch to
she
sneeze
says
on
she
me."
doesn't
And
sneeze
then,
like ever.
yeah, the guy sneezes, and then when the guy sneezed, her power sent me flying. And I was like, "Yeah, after falling, I don't fucking remember, man. Like it's been a trip." Yeah, she never really sneeze. She doesn't sneeze. Now she's asleep, so that's kind of a different thing in it.
Hmm. But yeah, I feel like that's something, but not really anything because
Yeah.
it's not talked about a lot.
No. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like there is stuff to talk about, but it's not like a narrative thread so much as it is just overall conversation.
So what would that be? If
How,
I
that's
guess
just
the
it. How do
narrative's
you
out
want
of
to
me.
classify that? It's meat, right? But it's not heavy like a steak. It's more like a chicken, I think.
A chicken. Good. That was a good.
Yeah.
It's not a fish either.
Right? I
It's
did
not
enough to
shark.
be a fish,
Yeah.
but it's not dense enough to be steak, and I feel like chicken is that nice in between. And if we get something even a little bit more intense, then it would be pork, because pork is pretty. Pork is the next degree, I think, from before steak.
So if I had more of a narrative, it would be a pork.
Some kind of pork, but I feel like this is chicken. Okay, so all right, I have a question. Niche, right?
It could be like an alcohol.
I was actually going to ask about bourbon glazed chicken.
Okay, you're 2 steps ahead of me.
As like, because bourbon chicken is liquor and it's like kind of gets you drunk, but it's on this it's soy sauce and ginger and other shit. Also sometimes sugar. It's I think traditionally it's sugar, but yeah, and it goes with rice and all the other kinds of shit. It's got a hint of sweetness, but it's not sweet enough for me to go like, oh yeah, it's super sweet. But like, it's out to get you fucked up.
There's like no romance in the.
I would say the closest thing is their amount of dedication to their favorite prostitutes. That's yeah. So I'd say bourbon chicken.
Okay, that works. Because it's gonna get you fucked up.
Nailed it. If you eat enough of it, it's gonna get you fucked up. I think
Hmm.
most people know because it's from like the South Anna.
Hmm. Okay,
So yeah, everybody shut the fuck up.
shut the fuck up.
Time for the news. What do you got?
Uh, RE3 came out.
Yeah, I did. PS4, right?
Yeah, I'm surprised they're still
Man,
remaking them.
kind of want to.
But I guess it's making a lot of money, so.
I'm not because when they did two, like one and two, everyone was like, "All right, now keep going, keep it going, though."
It's the same thing with Final Fantasy.
Yeah, probably.
Because they made 10. The remake of
I was
10.
gonna I was gonna say I haven't seen anybody beg for like a remake of Final Fantasy IX though.
I guess it wasn't popular. I don't know. I
I
never got
don't remember
into
people going,
Final
"Fuck yeah, I
Fantasy
love 9." Ah, I like the early ones. I didn't. I dropped off after 12.
when
Off
Lightning
after
returns.
12. No, that's 13. So immediately when Lightning came in, I was like, "Yeah, I don't really want to play Final Fantasy right now."
I just never. I don't know. I just never got in somehow.
I mean,
I
it's
found
really
out about it from
old.
Kingdom Hearts. So
It's really old, so it's one of those things that's kind of it's kind of like going back to DMC 1, where it feels really weird when you get too used to DMC 4 and DMC 3 and all that other shit. It's kind of
I
hard to
think
go
I
back.
could get into it because I played Grandia.
Yeah, it's
And I
kind of
really
like
liked it.
Grandia.
Yeah, I know it's
Yeah,
like it,
if you
but
want to give it a shot, I would say go to like Final Fantasy 4. That's my favorite one, or like 2.
I feel like it's just spoiled so much that I would like just know what happens.
Nah, man, everything you know is probably from like 7 and 10. Like
So
I,
four is
I bet you don't.
was four with
4 is with Cecil.
who? Yeah, I don't know.
Exactly.
Okay, but
Cecil and his brother. The RE3, huh? Nemesis.
yeah.
Stars. It's not bad.
And there's supposed to be a new update to Indivisible, but I don't know what's wrong with
Yeah.
it.
I was wondering what was gonna happen because I heard about it, but I didn't see anything about it ever since. They were like, "Up, Indivisible's gonna update." I'm like, To do what?
Oh, they
To
have a
change
new
the
game
balance?
plus mode, so they're gonna add more to the quests
Oh.
and like.
Oh.
So yeah, I could go back and visit those new places.
Sounds neat.
But it's supposed to come out April 2nd. It
Yeah,
seems like
well,
it has a lot of problems.
look, man, it's rough.
Well, yeah, we're in quarantine times.
Yeah, lots of people
Everything's
can't get into offices. This is the whole thing.
so yeah. I just give like a bunch of different news.
All right. Um, have you ever heard of Tokyo Mew Mew?
Yes,
It's back, baby.
Tokyo.
So, do you remember when they redid Bishojo Senshi Sailor Moon, Bishojo Senshi Sailor Moon Crystal, and that's been going on for a while?
Mhm.
Mew Mew is getting that treatment.
What is this?
Baby.
Is this a magic girl thing?
Mahou Shoujo. It's about little girls powered by the spirits of endangered animals.
Okay.
See that? You see the yellow one?
Mhm.
Her name. She's powered by the golden tamarin monkey.
Okay. And they fight humans that are
Monsters
engaging
and
those
stuff.
animals. Oh, monsters.
Monsters and stuff. Monsters that are gonna destroy the world. You know, and they need to protect the earth for the animals.
They're still going.
So yeah, you came
People
back,
are
baby.
still in? Oh, okay.
There was a countdown on a website.
Mhm.
That was like, all right, and it ended on Thursday, and then it was like, hey, guess what? There's a Tokyo Mew Mew Seiyu Idol audition contest, and it's like, what? It's like, yeah, online. Everyone's gonna start fucking attempting to get in because do you want to be the lead on Tokyo Mew Mew? And it's like, wait, we're doing it? It's like, we're doing it. If Bishojo Senshi Sailor Moon can do it, Tokyo Mew Mew can do it. And I was like, I guess that's right. I guess that's not wrong. So yeah, Tokyo Mew Mew is coming back, baby. It's open. The auditions are open from elementary schoolers to 30-year-olds. It's like anyone within that age range. If you want to try, you try. And if you win, you get a contract with Pony Canyon's agency Swallow. So you're in the industry now, baby.
I'm guessing they want the small childlike voice.
I mean, adult women can do small childlike voice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Tokyo Mew Mew is back. And that's wild. Also, all the girls are named after food. That's a fun thing.
Oh, I see like berry.
Yeah, there you go.
strawberry.
Mint. I like mint. Mint was cool.
Why does he PlayStation?
The
I
main
guess it's
girl.
on the PlayStation.
The main girl's name. It's a franchise. There's stuff.
Oh, I
There's
thought it was just
stuff
an
in Tokyo
anime.
Mew Mew.
Okay.
Nah.
It's
Nah.
we're selling this really
There's a
hard.
bunch of games.
Okay.
There's a bunch of games. There's anime. There's manga. There's a bunch of games. It's Tokyo Mew Mew, man. There's so many CDs. There's audio CDs. There's character music. You know, character CDs.
I know.
Mew Mew back in the early 2000s.
Okay,
didn't
I
know.
get it. They just
There's-
showed.
There's a
Sold it
sequel
really hard.
series, man. There's a sequel series, Tokyo Mew Mew a la mode. You know, because they worked at a cafe, so that made sense. A la mode of the style, as in with ice cream.
This is
Tokyo
the
Mew Mew's
biggest.
back.
All right.
Look, man. I was in on it as a kid, and I'm like, really? We're doing this? It's like we're doing this, and it's like I'm back in. You got me. You got me.
Oh wait, this is the time they made those weird eyes.
It's the early 2000s, man. That's the face. That's the face of
It
girls
doesn't
manga
look
from
too bad on
2003.
them. It's not like that one.
That's the girl's face. I don't know which one you're thinking of, but there's a lot of them because that's the face of girls manga in 2003.
The one where like the eyes are going off the face.
Again, you have to be more specific. I don't,
Um,
off the top of my head, I don't know.
Wow, whose little sister is that?
So yeah, man.
Yeah, I have to look up. Pocket Mew.
Mint. Yeah.
Okay,
Moulin.
I might get into it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's wild. If you like Bishojo Senshi Sailor Moon, you can easily get into Tokyo Mew Mew because it's just as bad shit.
But are they making fun of it?
Oh no, they're being honest about it, and that's why it's great. Bishojo Senshi Sailor Moon was never ironic. Bishojo Senshi Sailor Moon was always serious, but it was like, wait, so those two are lesbians? And it's like, yes. Okay. All right, cool. But why is she like a dude? It was like, because that's the only way society will accept our love. And it's like, fuck, that's really intense. But that's super real.
Oh, it's on the Vita.
Now? It's a PS1 game. So maybe you could download it for the Vita, huh? Okay, Mew Mew is back. It's coming back. Stronger than ever. If they can redo Bishojo Senshi Sailor Moon, they can redo Mew Mew. You can't stop them.
No.
Alright. Tell me your hype.
Get hype.
What are you hype about?
Is it an ARG? Yeah. So
Which one? Go on.
I am Sophie.
Tell me. I've heard of this. Yeah.
Okay.
Fake blogger, right?
Yeah, fake rich girl trying to be like, here's my day-to-day life. She's super fake. I mean, she's not super fake. She just ignores everything around her.
Thanks. That can't be good for other people around her.
But it doesn't do it the way like, oh, she's the actual crazy version. It's more like some of weird stalker from like high school, whatever, becomes like a serial murderer.
Stalker? Oh,
So,
okay.
and then there's like he works for a
It
demon.
sounds less. Okay. What?
Yeah, it gets really
I was
crazy.
say it sounds less like an AIG and more like a movie, and then you said, "But he works for a demon," and that threw me for a loop.
Yeah. I guess I just explained everything.
I mean, explain as much as you want to, or where people can go check it out. It's up to you.
Well, you could just look it up on YouTube. I am Sophie, or the Night Mine.
Oh, Nick made a video about it.
Hmm.
That's cool.
But you could
Yeah,
just see our YouTube channel
and then just watch stuff and get in.
and to see like the horrible
All right,
like. I'll send you the YouTube channel.
okie dokie. Sounds neat. I heard people were like trying to read through stopped footage, but I didn't know it was like demons. I didn't. Wow.
It gets it's a lot. It's like
I
blogger,
get you.
then some weird obsessed stalker makes a pact with a demon and takes over her soul.
So
And
the video called I am the channel is called I am Sophie. And
mhm.
there's not that many videos actually.
No, some of them are short too.
Okay.
But then you can see like the new girl making the same exact poses.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
have an Instagram and Twitter. They're doing really hard. I like it.
You gotta look around, man.
No, I mean like they actually
You gotta
made
look
an
around.
Instagram to make it like a real
That's
life
what I mean.
blogger.
You gotta look around. You gotta cover all your bases.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure everybody knows this seems legit until it's not legit no more.
And
Oh,
Instagram looks
ARGs.
super
You go
legit.
places. Yeah, that's cool. That's dope as fuck. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. All right. Anything else? Or just that's it?
That's it. I guess if you like it, you should check
Yeah.
it out.
If you're interested in alternate reality games with horror twists, this is a channel you should check out. That's neat. All right. You know me. You know what I'm about. Can you guess what I want to talk about?
Is it the number 2203511?
203511? No, it is not. That's for you to know and not for the people at home.
Oh, okay.
If they know, they know, but that's up to them. Yeah, though. So, can you guess what I want to talk about? It's not surprising considering the name of our show.
Something gross. Because you said earlier.
It's in the theme. Yes. It's matching today's
So
theme.
it's either a harem. It's a harem.
There you go. You nailed it.
I was
Nailed it
either
in one
harem
breath.
or something just gross, but that's probably just a harem. That is gross.
Correct. Correctamundo. Alrighty. Gaku ni sutomere shimata sensei. That is to say, fuck, I'm a teacher at a black gal school.
A black gal? What's that? I know what a gal is. I don't know what a
No,
black
no, no,
gal.
no. I think you're misunderstanding. Gal is a umbrella term for various different fashion subcultures. So there's like Mamba, Yamamba,
Oh,
Black
she's trying
Gal.
to. Oh, okay.
It's a specific look.
Oh,
Correct.
okay, so I did know a gal meant. Alright.
You do. It's just a specific one that maybe you haven't seen before.
It's
I'm
different
going to show
subtext.
you a picture from the first chapter, and I want you to, I want your live reaction to this shit because this is pretty fun. Ta-da!
Oh, wow, they do look. That doesn't look great.
It's an aesthetic. You tan your skin and you bleach your hair.
That seems like a
It's
lot of
called
work.
black. It is a lot of work. It is. It's not a very common thing as much anymore. It was before, and you know the styles evolve because it's a fashion thing, less so than it is anything else.
No black,
So,
no light.
Guy, yeah, yeah, I love it. I love it. So, guy was a teacher. He comes to the school. You see the picture. Every girl in the class is a black gal, and he goes, "Fuck, I cannot deal with gals." And I was like, "What?" Yeah, he got bullied by them in high school. Oh, okay. Also, they all try to fuck him repeatedly, and I don't mean like, "Ooh, I want to go on a date." No, take off their underwear, push it to his chest, and hump him. Like, try to fuck him hardcore.
Sounds gross.
It is disgusting, and I love it. So yeah, the girl to the far left that you see there is
Hmm.
the girl who is ostensibly the heroine. She's the first girl, but everyone in the class is trying to fuck him.
It gets kind of
Some
hard to tell them apart. Besides the eye color, right?
It's hair. Hair is what I remember.
The hairstyle.
Hair is what I remember. Flower in her hair and wavy hair. All right, that's this one. The girl with long hair and like single bang. That's this one. Girl with scrunchy. That's this one. Girl with shorter hair that has a square bob. That's this one. Like that. That's how I remember them.
Ah,
Here's another fun joke from like that first page. So do you know what the word for black is in Japanese?
no.
Kuro.
Kudo?
So yeah, kuro.
Ah,
And you know how names are made up of words, right? That's how names work.
Oh yeah, they usually make the
So
yeah.
he looks at the list of students in the class. Everyone's last name starts with Kuro.
Okay, I guess their parents were cool with it.
They're all in. Their name is black. They're black gals. They're all in.
Just to be
And
clear,
yeah,
it's just a fashion thing, right? Okay.
yeah. It's about
It's not like they're trying to be black.
what African American?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
it's the name to the deep tan.
Okay.
There are gals, but they also emphasize a deep tan and certain other things. The manba is the deep tan, the regular gal blonde hair, and also lots of makeup. This is ignoring the makeup part. It's just the deep tan. So yeah, it's an aesthetic thing.
It is a lot of work. Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. So yeah, they're all trying to fuck him, and as the story progresses, you learn more about the teacher and how he got to be the way he is. Also, he has a massive dick that everyone comments on, and it's part of why they want to fuck him. A repeated joke is one of the girls will turn him on, and he will get a boner with such an intense ferocity that it like launches them away. This
Are
dude's
they
dick
even
is.
learning? How dare they? They should get an
Yeah.
education.
Trying to do. He literally goes like, "No, you have to focus on school. Please stop doing this." And the girl would like show him her bra, and he goes, "Mm," and then boom, boner, and then also shoves her away 5 feet because that's how strong his dick is. As a matter of fact, a
What?
chapter comes up where a girl goes like, "I'm not interested in this guy. Fuck this guy. He's a loser." And then when she's trying to turn him on, doesn't work because he has a specific thing that you find out about if you read the manga. So yeah, he's just trying to turn him on. It's not working. Other girl walks in. Oh, guess what? She gets launched into the air 3 feet by the ferocity of his boner. And she lands and then goes, I need that dick inside me. That's it. This has been decided. And her friend is like, no, I like him. And she was like, bitch, I don't care. Bitch, I don't care. So yeah. Yeah. It's in theme. Today's theme is disgusting. Um, theme. And I love it. I love it. It's only 12 chapters. I've been reading it since it was 5. I've been rereading it every 2 weeks or so just because I really do love the joke of I got hard. Oh, she's in the air now,
That's really crazy.
and it's aggressive because that's their whole thing. Their whole thing is no, I'm trying to fuck you. The main girl, right? The girl to the far left. The reason she wants to fuck him, and they ask that because they ask her that they're like, "Why do you want to fuck this guy so bad?" She goes, "He smells and feels like a virgin, and his dick game is bomb." That's what she says verbatim. Those are
Okay.
her exact words. And you gotta respect somebody who's so open about their feelings like that.
They're all in the hustle.
Gotta respect it. Gotta respect it. It's like, why? Dick game bomb. Seems like a virgin. I want to corrupt his innocence. I like it. You know what? You all right. You all right. Okay. Second thing I'm hype about. Not in theme. Very, very different. Harem, yes. Same kind of thing? No, not at all. Isaiah, do you remember when we talked about Yamada Kuntanani no Majo? And we were talking about how the mangaka Miki Yoshigawa has yet to write anything new, right? And you
Mhm.
were like, maybe she's done. Maybe her second one is done, and that's it, right?
Mhm.
You motherfucker, she just dropped her third one.
Her third.
Her third series. So it's interesting to me because it kind of feels like it starts with a kind of nisekoi feel, but her style of writing is so nothing like that person that I like it a lot more. It also has sort of a no, but yeah, no, it has an isekoi feel, but it evolves into becoming like koi to uso. So, hey, hey,
Huh.
hey, if you're a fan of both of those things,
That
get
sounds
the
very
fuck
fun.
in. It's amazing. So, guy, it's a guy. He was. So it opens with this, and this is pretty wild. This guy was born in a hospital. Parents switched babies at birth. Just accident. Just on accident.
Huh. Okay.
So he was raised by a family that was not related to him, but he loves them deeply. And so the family goes, "Hey, are you ready to meet your parents today?" And he goes, "Those people aren't my parents. They're related. They're biologically attached to me. They're not my parents. You're my parents. I love you guys." And they're like, "Oh, we love you too." And that's just the thing they're gonna do. So he steps out, goes for a walk, bumps into a girl, who's a huge. Ironically, since you talk about I am Sophie, she's really into social networking. She loves Instagram. She loves to take Instagram photos. She's an Instagram model. That's like her whole thing.
Mm.
She's really cool. Like the more you get to know her, the way more interesting she is. I really like her. And yeah, so he meets her, and then a guy tries to take her, and then he fucks that guy up. And she goes like, "Wow, thanks, you're cool." And she goes, "Hey, could you be my boyfriend?" And he goes like, "Fucking what?" Um, I don't. And she goes like, okay, not for real though. The thing is, my parents are gonna make me get married, and I don't want to get married. And then he's like, oh, that's fucked up. And he goes like, yeah, so, you know, I don't. Could you just pretend to be my boyfriend so that I don't have to get married? And he goes, yeah, okay, fine. So they go meet. So this is the Nisekoi part, right? Because that's how Nisekoi starts, sort of. And he goes to meet her parents, and when he goes to meet her parents,
Hmm.
he finds out something. She is the person that he was switched at birth with.
Oh really?
Yeah, yeah. And the guy she's supposed to marry is him. Because here's what the parents decided. They want to connect their families together through the two kids because they want to be a larger family and they don't want to have to give up either of their kids. And they're like, what if we just make them get married? That makes sense, right?
Yeah. But
So now
what if
that
they don't
so
like
now the
each other?
kids are like, "What? Wait, I'm supposed to get married to you? Fuck this!" And it's a joke from earlier where he goes like, "If something bothers you, punch it, deal with it, fucking face it head on." Because his family are like fucking crazy Yankee, and that's what they have him do. So she goes like, "Well, I said when I meet that guy, I'd punch his face," and he goes like, "What?" And he goes like, "I don't break a promise," and she just punches him in the mouth. And yeah, yeah. So the second chapter introduces why he was really fishy about being her boyfriend. He is in love with a girl at his school. So this is the Koito Uso thing,
Oh,
where
like
he's
you're in love with
engaged.
something you're not supposed to be.
He's engaged with someone, but he's also in love with someone else. And like the girl doesn't love him either, and that's Nisekoi, but she learns to love him. Maybe I don't know. We're still really early. It's only 10 chapters, but there is a line that gets delivered in the fifth chapter. No, maybe the sixth chapter that really fucking changes the whole thing. And it's like, yo, Yoshigawa Sensei, I love your work. I will always love your work. Please never stop working. Oh my god. Oh my god. Please, 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 please. Even when you do variations of other people's shit, it's so much more interesting and so much more like fun and vibrant than the other shit already was. Because Nisekoi is good. Koito Uso is good. But Koito Uso is really heavy. Nisekoi is really jokey and like traditional harem. This is a weird combination of those two that is just like a really good kind of heavy and a really good kind of fun. Just like Yankee Kuntamagana-chan and just like fucking Yamada Kuntanari no Majo, right? Like it's a very good balance of like fun and like intense that I'm just so into. And it's not gross. So that's the part that I'm gonna have to say, hey, not in with today's theme, but it's really good. And if you liked Yamada Kunai no Majo, you liked anything else she's done, you have to check it out. It's so good. It's so good. And it's only 10 chapters in, so I can't wait to see where it goes. Like, really.
Huh. It seems like it's
I,
gonna be a long thing.
oh, fuck yeah. All of her things are long. All of them are like a couple hundred
Yeah.
or like 180. So, like, there's no way this is going to be short. Unless they decide to can it, but it's so good, I can't believe they would can it. By the way, speaking of things that got canned, did you hear that Kishimoto's thing got canned?
Kishimoto.
Yeah, the guy who made Naruto.
Oh, Boruto got canned.
Oh, not Boruto. He's not doing that. His apprentice, the his assistant is doing that.
Ah, so what got canned?
Started a whole different thing. It's called Samurai 8.
Okay,
Yeah, it got canned.
that's weird.
Fuck it. Yeah, dead. Can't capture lightning twice, I guess. I don't know. Nobody was into it. Or at least not enough people were buying it and into it to stay alive. Got fucking canned. It's pretty nuts. 5 volumes. Nothing else. We're done. No, wait, not 5 volumes. How many chapters did it even make? All right, time for live research. Uh, Samurai 8 cancel. Samurai 8 officially canceled. Final volume of the manga hitting stands soon. Yep, no, the last one is going to be volume 5. So 38 chapters, I guess. 43 chapters is the last one. Oh, wow. Tough shit, huh?
I guess they didn't really like. That's weird. Because
I
people like
never read.
Naruto. I guess they didn't like his other stuff.
I guess it didn't work the second time around, man. I don't know. Maybe it's really different and you couldn't get the same people to be into it. I don't know.
It was probably really different.
I didn't read it. I didn't read it. So I
I
wouldn't
figured it'd
know.
be like
But
Samurai Society, but I don't know.
yeah, again, I know nothing of it. I didn't read it. So
That's well, okay. I can't really say anything if I didn't.
oh, but I'm just surprised, a guy that big, maybe he could last for a while, but Samurai 8 got canned and that's that.
Well, I think
So
it'll probably be like Naruto fans, like we want more Naruto, blah blah blah.
yeah, but why don't you go read Bolt, where the guy has a machine gun, I've been told.
But that's what I figured it'd be. Like, oh, the
Uh,
guy's not making Naruto. Well, I don't want to read it. That's usually
Yeah,
what happens.
dude, read Yoshikawa Sensei's new work. And if you're into gross shit, Barakagaku ni Sutomete Shimata Sensei. I love this, so you know I'm into gross shit. I'm here for it.
I'll check it out.
Yeah. All right. So I guess that's it, huh?
Yeah. All right.
Well, I guess that's it for Manga Palette.
If you're listening, you get it.
Yeah, you guys get it.
All right. Thanks for listening.